Go to get your game on. Go for the beers. Go for the cheers. Go for the hit and the hits. Go for the stakes and the stakes. Go to get your parlay on. Go to get your party on. Go for the scene. Go for the screens. Go for the gallery. Go for the win. Go to Ocean. Visit theoceanac.com to plan your visit.
Philadelphia fans, we're cut from a different cloth. Born into a brotherhood and bonded to our team for life. We believe anything is possible because we've witnessed the impossible. While we may be from different neighborhoods, come Sunday, we are one, and we will be heard. Pondley Hockey, official partner of the Philadelphia Eagles.
What's up, everybody? Happy Thursday, Friday Eve, hanging out with you. We are
Where'd you come from?
Hi, Derek. Snuck up on you. Boom. We are Sports Take, JAKIB Sports YouTube Network. Derek Gunn, Rob Ellis, Barrett at some point, not really sure, hanging with you. I think keeps us on our toes.
Ex-football mentality.
Yes, keeps us on our toes. You never quite know what's going to go on. But we got a big one today for you, Derek. We'll get to the Phillies in a second. Talk Phillies. We will talk Eagles. We're going to look at Jalen Hurts' first 6 games in the offense, the defense through 6 games, and the new guys, what they've done, and what some of the veterans who have been here, how they're playing thus far. Ben Simmons had his debut last night with the Nets. We will go through that as well. Certainly a lot to dive into at 1 o'clock. Some guy, Ben Simmons. At 1 o'clock, Keith Pompey from the Philadelphia Inquirer will be joining us. We will preview tonight's home opener. Oh, there he is. There he is. Right on. Not quite right on time, but he's here. He's here. Some way. Hi, Barrett. He's muted and late. That is a tough combination. God. Wow.
Day, man. I'm getting called into duty tomorrow, man. I got a game tomorrow. So
yay!
No, game on Saturday. So
there you go. Who's your game?
Call? UCF at ECU.
Okay. I love UCF's quarterback for what it's worth.
Yeah. I did a game for him last year.
Yeah, right. John Rice Plumlee.
Well,
how do you call this stuff? I don't know. John Rice Plumlee.
He will be
Where
drafted.
did you come up with this?
Plum's a big dude too. He's like a lefty too.
He's tough. Anyway,
hey, I tell you guys all the time, left-handed people are the only people in their right minds.
Oh God!
Just remember that.
Here we go.
Right here, baby. That's right.
Yes.
Power to the left-handers.
Yes.
That's right.
There you go. Hi, everybody. I hope you're good. I hope I see everybody in the chat section. I'm going to really reel them off. Richard, Rome, Showtime, Jeremiah, Daz, Gigi, Anthony, David, Alexander. What's up, guys? And I see everybody in the stream, everybody listening. We appreciate you. Thanks for hanging out with us today. As I mentioned, Keith Pompey at 1 o'clock. Eagles coming up in a little bit. Bummer, late afternoon, early evening yesterday, guys, with the Phillies. Jumped out 4-0 lead.
Impressive.
You could have put a stranglehold on this series, man. And you absolutely not just opened the door. You gave that team life. They woke up in a big way yesterday.
Okay, stop right there. Because as I'm watching this game unfold and as I'm watching it unravel, the first thing that came to my mind is this game is very similar to how the Padres jettisoned the Dodgers from the playoffs. So I said to myself, I want to tap into Rob Ellis, not the objective analyst. I want to tap into Rob Ellis, the Philadelphia Phillies fan who has a lifetime worth of history with this team, who has watched and studied this team ride that proverbial roller coaster all of 2022. See, when I watch this game, I've been here 25 plus years, but I'm watching this game more objective. And I'm looking at certain situations because I've had a chance to see the Padres play a lot. and obviously we've seen the Phillies play a lot. So my perspective of the game will be different from yours. So I tap into you, old sage of wisdom, not as an analyst, but as a fan watching that game.
All right. So I never, by the way, good morning and afternoon, Mama Brooks. So let me just say that.
Hey, Mom.
Mama Brooks in the house.
So, all right. I never, ever, until it's like 13-1, count a game as being over. So I was never in the mode of this game's over because the Phillies scored early. There was tons of baseball. So let me just start there. This was not everything's fine. I don't even need to pay attention to this. Like I actually had a bad feeling, to tell you the truth. I had a feeling the Padres were going to come back in the game. Here's for a couple reasons. One, and I can't stand Blake Snell generally, but I'll give him this.
Wait, what did Blake do to you?
I just don't like. I don't like his whole aura. I don't like him. I don't like him.
What?
I never have. No. And I think he's an overrated pitcher because he never goes deep in games ever. And even by the standards of this day and age, he doesn't go deep. But anyway, I give him this. Now I'm going to give him a little props here. He didn't come apart at the seams where other pitchers might have. Like he had
second. Yeah.
There was a lot of dinks and dunks and his fielders let him down and he didn't implode. That to me showed some character on his part. And I think the team sort of followed his lead in that sense where they didn't panic. The Padres did. So I didn't think the game was over. All right. So that for starters. But what happened was, and this is, from a Philly sort of fatalist standpoint, which you're tapping into here, Derek, you went from, I really believe, like having them teetering on the brink of destruction, the Padres, to now feeling good. Here's why I say that. Yes, you go back to Philly for 3, but the Phillies pitching situations are very much up in the air right now. I mean, You throw in Suarez tomorrow, which he didn't look good his last outing. And, in either way, he's probably not going deep. So you're going to be heavy into your pen tomorrow. Game 4 on Saturday, we don't know what that's going to look like. That could look like Syndergaard starting. It may be Eflin.
Yep.
I wouldn't. I wouldn't discount either. If the Phillies lose, you bump Wheeler up a day.
Well,
you're going to have to do that. You're going all in. I mean, of course, that goes without saying.
Well, not to cut you off while you are in your sports fandom dissertation, which I've been waiting to see, but the manager came out and said the Game 4 starter may be somebody different, which means I don't think it'll be Syndergaard, which I'm happy about. Is it Falters? I mean, obviously we're looking further down the road. Who could that Game 4 starter be?
I talked to
I think it might be Eflin.
Yeah.
Eflin? Okay.
I think it might be Eflin. Now, it's not like Syndergaard stunk. He didn't stink.
No, but I don't trust him. Not in a situation like this. Not tapping the rubber to start a game. No.
But see, I talked to Ben yesterday, and Ben was kind of leaning towards Falter. He was kind of leaning towards him.
He's leaning towards Falter. Look, that wouldn't shock me.
That's putting that young man in a huge situation.
That's where you get cojones, man. That's where you get a name for yourself. This is what you want as a young player.
You do, but that's my point. There's so much uncertainty right now for the next 2 games where if you went in 2-0, you're like, all right, figure it out. Like Suarez isn't, whatever, and you can kind of piecemeal it, whatever. It's just a shame that it was a real blown opportunity. Now, you could tell Nola wasn't dominant Nola that we saw the last 3 outings. He was he was okay, whatever. He couldn't put guys away the way he was, previous outings, the way he was able to the previous outings. And that really hurt them. And here's the other thing, the offense, which got a little fortunate in that when they put up that 4 spot, other than Reese hitting that home run, disappeared. You left Harper stranded in the 6th after a leadoff double. Harper's out of his mind right now, by the way. But you left him stranded and you did nothing. And there's so many different things that you can look at from the game and so many moments. And certainly Nola's going to get like the focus of the ire from Phillies fans. And I get it. They were 3 for 11 with runners in scoring position.
Yep.
Let me ask you this, man.
Yeah.
Just like in the 4th. I mean, they had scored 2-3 runs with no outs.
Yep.
With men in scoring positions.
Yeah.
So I mean, I see this team still winning this series even after the loss yesterday.
Oh, yeah. Listen, I'm not telling you. Look, I feel kind of right now. I'll be honest with you. Like, I don't feel really confident but I don't feel bad. Look, the bottom line is you're coming back from 2 on the road and you split. That should be good. And some of this is I'm just still, kind of reeling from yesterday a little bit. If you step away, it's good. If you split, you'll take that anytime. I just wish you were set up a little bit better. Like the guy who's going for the Padres tomorrow, Musgrove, is nasty.
Yes, he is.
His 2 starts ago against the Mets, he went 7 innings, gave up 1 hit, no runs. Now, he wasn't great, and he pitched well against the Dodgers, too. So his 2 starts in the postseason have been really good. When he faced the Phillies, it was June 23rd. That's a long time ago, but Phillies did a nice job against him. 6 innings, 7 hits, 6 runs, 2 home runs off. So at least they have that in the back of their mind. They feel pretty good about that. But he's an established, real good pitcher compared to just with the Phillies.
You basically let a San Diego team that was emotionally deflated out of the grave. You let them out of the grave. You about to take the shovel and put a little dirt on them.
Yep.
You let them out of the grave. When Nola gave up those back-to-back homers to Drury and Bell on consecutive pitches, I said, and honestly said, here we go again. And it's my here we go again is based on watching what the Padres did to beat the Dodgers. And I'm saying, here we go again. Mm-hmm. See, everything I watched on the pregame show leading up to the first pitch of the game was Aaron Nola loves to pitch in warm weather. It's 91 degrees here, first pitch in San Diego. Set up perfectly. And, of course, they jump out. Soto drops that fly ball in right field. Thank you, son. He drops the fly ball, and I'm thinking, Mojo's on the Philly side right now. 4-0. I'm like, that's a pretty good lead.
Well, we should have scored on that too, but
I agree.
Whether to tag up, whether not to tag up, that's tough, man. That's
tough.
That's a good play right there.
Because you don't know. You don't know. On a play like that, you have to go halfway.
Yes.
And you have to be cautious because he could have caught and doubled him up. You don't know.
Yep.
You can't fault him for that.
Absolutely.
But Aaron Nola was not the same Aaron Nola, and you could tell. But after those 2 home runs, even when it was 4-2, I'm thinking, I'm watching him go corner to corner on the play. I'm saying, this is not the same Aaron Nola, for whatever the reason may be. And then when his brother gets the RBI single, I said, I'm sitting there, you know what? The bottom's about to fall out. Sure enough, Padres just went crazy. Now, the psyche of the game is that you come back here 0-2, the Padres have to be thinking, look at what they did to the defending world champions when we got them in our backyard. How they put
That's
them on
it
ice.
right there. That is it right there.
But now the psyche changes. Number 1, we beat their second best pitcher. Number 2, we can hit this team. We're not going to see Wheeler for a few days. We can hit this team.
Yeah.
I ain't afraid of Suarez, Falter, Syndergaard, whoever they put on the mound.
There's a chance they may not see Wheeler if they come in here and rip 3 off. Now, that's fatalist.
I get it.
Come on. And you know what? I'm going to tell you this. They're still going to win it here at home.
They're going
to get 2.
See, that's the problem. Padres only need 1 to get back home. They only need 1.
It's true.
To get back home.
Hey, look, let me go to the Phillies' positive side. Two things that are really positive. One, you took 1 on the road, which means you took back the home field advantage. Okay.
Yes.
So that's huge. You can't underestimate that. The other thing is, if we go back to the Atlanta series, they lost a heartbreaking game 2 at Atlanta.
Yeah, they did.
Rhys Hoskins had the error. We all know what happened. So they could draw on that experience.
Exactly.
And Thompson said after the game, Thompson said the exact same thing happened last series. We lost game 2. It was a tough game. Look at how we responded. So I think he's great with that. Like, he is not. You guys know the best thing about him is that's gone. Like,
how even keel he is. Yeah.
3 games at home. Our crowd is going to be a bunch of crazy.
Oh, it's going to be lit. I mean, it's going to be insane.
Come on, man. 3 at home, baby. 3 at home. They don't even make it back to San Diego.
I hear you.
I'm hoping that is the case. But as I said prior to that game, too, eventually Soto's going to wake up.
Yeah.
And he ripped that double down the right field line.
Machado woke up, too.
Well, oh, my goodness. Machado. See, those two.
Yeah.
Come on, guys. You guys got to be you guys got to be, more enthusiastic in as far as them going out and winning this, man. They're going to win this, bro.
Look, I think they could win it in 5, 6, or 7. I'm not saying they're not going to win the series. I'm just saying the mojo, the psyche now is completely different compared to coming back home 2-0 compared to 1-1, as you just said. That's it right there.
They went from on the ropes to feel now San Diego's going to flip it to their side and say, hey, we got some mojo now. We just won the last game that was played. Forget the first game. We won the last game that was played. That's how they'll view it. Phillies will view it as we got one there. I mean, it's all the psychological
See,
games.
This is me, psychological. I'm thinking like this. Okay, we're back at home. Our heavy hitters kind of led the way this last game.
Mm-hmm.
Now we're going to get our heavy hitters, and now we're going to get the kids in there too.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to have the Veerlings step up. You know what I'm saying? Guys like that. You know, Bomb's going to step up.
Mm-hmm.
The guys in the second half, in the later half of the lineup are going to step up. So they're going to score more. They see the lead. They see what they need to do by following what their big guns did last game, man.
Yeah.
So they're going to say, all right, we need to step up also. The glass is half full, guys. Come on, guys.
I'm not disagreeing with you.
Let me pour more into Barrett's glass real quick. Harper's out of his mind right now. Like,
Right.
I don't think that stops in front of a home crowd.
No,
like, he's going to keep it rolling. Maybe that home run, even though it wasn't enough in that game yesterday, gets Hoskins going here a little bit more, So I think there are two things you can glean.
But see, I like to play the other side of the fence because I want to see your emotion, your adrenaline rush. Okay, so if I'm the Padres now, again, I'm going back to the Padres.
Yeah,
well, I'm thinking this: we beat the Mets in New York. We beat them 7-1, 6-0. We beat two of the best pitchers in the game in New York. Mm-hmm. We beat the Dodgers in 4 games. We won 3 straight over the Dodgers after giving up the first game. We beat them 3, and we beat them in low-scoring affairs, 5-3, 2-1, 5-3. We beat the Dodgers at their best. We put aside 2 100-win teams.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we got a bigger task now. We got to go into Philly because now the complexion changes. It's not just 2 games. It's possible 3 games in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
But see, that's not to me, you've had your Super Bowl.
Possibly.
You know what I'm saying? But you got to look at what we've done also.
I
beat a 100-win team.
I agree.
Well, it's that Barrett, exactly. The Phillies beat the champs.
I agree.
Beat the champs.
I agree. I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just playing both sides of the fence.
Don't play both sides of the fence. Get on my side of the fence, man.
No, I can't do that. That's too easy. But one other thing I want to bring up. If you are just a baseball fan, enjoy watching Machado play shortstop.
Yes.
There's no better fielder playing that position.
Well, what a third, yeah. But
I mean, third base.
But he's at short a lot with the shift.
That dude is a human vacuum.
Yeah.
I mean, you talk about technically sound, arm strength.
The double play was a thing of perfection.
What?
Yesterday. Yeah.
He played on the shift. They're on the shift.
I know.
And he gets in and throws a dart off. I'm like, jeez.
Yeah.
But he's been doing that his whole career.
That's that's the Padres' advantage. You didn't see it early yesterday with the sun, and there was a lot that happened. But that's where they have an advantage. They're a better fielding team. But that, you know what? But the Phillies have been dealing with that all year. They've overcome it all year.
I know,
bro. They're coming up here. It's going to be cold. They're used to sunny California. It's going to be cold up here. They're not going to want to go outside.
How many day games are there in Philly? Just one?
I think it is just one.
It's just Sunday. Just Sunday.
Yeah, so it's going to be cold out there.
Saturday 69, Sundays in the mid 60s.
Yeah, so the way the schedule plays out here, you have a night game tomorrow, 7:30, 7:45 Saturday, 2:37 on Sunday. That's the 3 games. So 7:30, basically 7:30, 2:37.
We're used to this. We're built for this.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? We're built for this. It's not hitting season here. Right. You know what I'm saying? You got to go out there and play here. So I'm just saying, man, it's just playing in front of our crowd. I told you, I was at the Wells Fargo and heard everybody at that game.
Oh, yeah.
From across the street. That's how loud it was. It's going to be electric. Electric.
See, that's what I wanted to do. Stoke the emotions of Barrett Brooks and Rob Ellis.
Well, I think
I got exactly what I wanted.
I was very torn when that game was like I'll put it to you this way. Like I said, I didn't take it for granted, so I'm not shocked the Padres came back. But I'm trying to be practical and saying the Phillies took game 1, and that's all you really hope for when you're in a series when you're the underdog is to get 1. But I didn't like some of the things that took place yesterday that kind of woke the Padres up a little bit. But then again, here's the thing: you're going to have like they think what they heard in San Diego was loud. This is going to be a madhouse. Okay.
Yep. Oh yes.
I mean, whoa.
So they get the tailgate.
Oh God,
they're tailgating.
Yeah, they'll be down there tomorrow at 7 a.m. Like, forget it. You guys know we've all lived it. How many times, Derek, over 25 years, did you and I pull up on a Monday?
Oh my goodness.
At 9 a.m. for a Monday Night Football at the Wells Fargo Center, and they were already out there. This is back when you could get in at any time. Now there's restrictions.
Bro,
it was last Sunday, you know it. You walk through that craziness every game.
Bro, this last Sunday night, I had to get there 3 hours before the game because I had to do my post game, and as soon as I pull in, there are people around my car. I'm like, yo, what is going on?
Yes.
And then when I finally park, I'm trying to take my stuff out. They are, man, here, come take a shot with me, bro. Fired, man.
Hey, Gunner, you want something off the grill?
Early.
I got shrimp over here. I got lobster. Just take a shot with me.
Oh yeah.
That is the best. Like, people want to feed you. They want you to have drinks with. It's unbelievable, man.
I had to take one though.
The
one wasn't gonna hurt me.
One's just gonna get you.
So I took me one. I took one and went with it.
The craziest scenario is when you have the cross reference, when you have a football game and a baseball game at the same time. The congestion trying to get in there, to try to walk and weave your way through the crowds. And oh my goodness. And when those games end, and here's the worst, when you have 2 day games and that evening there's a big concert in the Wells Fargo Center. So you're trying to get out and a whole nother wave of people are coming in.
Yeah, you're right.
It was even crazier.
And look, I don't expect the link to be sold out, but FYI, and Barrett, if you're headed down there, the Temple Owls play tomorrow night at the link.
Yes.
And the Phillies play at Citizens Bank Park. So tomorrow, the South Philly traffic flow will be pretty freaking crazy, man. I will just tell you that.
Barrett, you might want to do the show from the office.
Well, I got my ticket, but I got to fly out. I got to fly out tomorrow evening.
Ooh, and you got to get to the airport after that. Okay.
Yeah. So,
do you have to do your show in studio tomorrow?
Of course.
And you got to try to get out of that mess and go to the airport.
What time's your flight, man?
I haven't got. I just got off the phone with him.
Give yourself a little window.
I got to go. I got to do this show. I'm telling the guy, I got to get off and get on the show.
Oh man! The good thing is the airport's only 5 miles away from the Wells Fargo.
That is real nice.
But the bad thing is I can't just leave my car there. We used to do that. We used to leave our car. We used to park our car, and it would have
right there at the office. Yeah. Have a cab come in.
Right.
And just take.
Wait, you can't do that anymore?
I'm not going to leave it there with the game and all that stuff there.
Why not? I would. Why would you?
Just think I should?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
get you a cab or an Uber? Are you kidding me?
Yeah, Barry, that's probably your move, man.
Don't try to drive your car because you got to park your car at the airport too.
Yeah,
that's
but how do they get in? How do they get in when they're when you got games there?
Here's what you need to do.
You tell security to let them in.
Tell security that you're leaving your car there. Do not just leave it there without telling them.
Right.
Real inside stuff here, but
and make sure security has your car keys.
Yes, correct. So they can move around.
If they have to move it because of if there's a Flyers game, whatever.
Or they might have that race course. Do you know they do that race course with the cars?
Car dealerships. Yep. Yeah. You talking about somebody for 23 years. I have a master's degree in knowing how to park my car, get a cab. As a matter of fact, I used the same cab company all the time for so many years. Hey, Gunner, how many cabs do you need this time? I mean, because I had a crew of 4. And with all the equipment we would travel with, sometimes we needed 2 cabs. Yeah. I'd have them there 6 in the morning, 7 in the morning, in the afternoon. Didn't make a difference. They knew how to get in there. And all we had to do was tell security. Security tells the people at the gate to let them in. Now, that's going to be a little different because of your time frame, your window. If I were you, I would consider Uber more so than a cab because Uber wants their money. The drivers want their money right now. You see what I'm saying? They will comb the earth to find a way to get in there. Okay. Whereas a cab is trying to make as much money as they can. You may be number 5 in line because they got a whole load of people that they're getting from the airport, which will prolong your stay at that office. Uber is the best shot. I'm telling you right now. Take it from Sensei D-Gun when it comes to traveling from Wells Fargo Center to the airport.
It's a many days I've been in your hip pocket rolling.
Yeah,
I'm telling you.
All right, enough of Barrett's transportation talk here.
Right.
So two things. 2 guys who got to get going offensively. Real Muto's got to get going.
Yes.
And Segura's got to get going.
Yes.
Those 2 have to get going. It can't just be the Harper show. He's got to get some help here, from these guys. Yeah, Schwarber's done it.
Say Hoskins.
Him too. Yeah, I mean, I'll give him a little bit of love because he hit the home run yesterday, but really all 3 of them need to step up and help him.
So do you play Stott this game?
Musgrove's a righty. Yes. Stott would start for me. Stott would start for me. I think you'll see Marsh in center field. I think you'll see Stott at shortstop. It'll be the same lineup you had in game one. Would be my guess. Same exact lineup. So they need to look, just ride that wave, man. They did a great job of it against Atlanta, riding the emotion at home. And really, here's what this comes down to. Suarez has got to be good, and he's got to get him a little bit of depth. He's got to get him to about the fifth. That's all I'm asking. I don't need much more. Right. You know, the good thing is the bullpen. By the way, I don't need to see any more Brad Hand. Bye-bye.
I knew he was going to say it. I knew it was coming. It was coming.
Get out, Brad Hand. Rob Thompson. No more Brad Hand. No more Brad Hand, period, in any circumstance.
Well, we've been saying that. We've been saying that since
he's cooked. He's cooked.
Seen that since June.
Yeah, he's got nothing. That was ridiculous, too. Like, stop the bleeding a little bit, dude. Don't just pour gas on the fire. You hit Cronenworth. It was awful. Awful. The way that inning went down was, you think about it, even after.
This is what I was waiting on right here. This is what I was waiting on, Rob. I was surprised you didn't come to it earlier.
All right, I'm sorry. So let me get to it. All right. So Phillies are up 4-2, bottom of the fifth. Nola, at that point. Kim gets a single to lead it off. Two batters later, he had his brother 0-2. And his brother gets the big hit, which makes it 4-3. And then all of a sudden, man, the place is awake. The Padres are awake. Here we go. Profar single. Soto finally wakes up. Boom, double. Ball was crushed. Now it's 4-4. So he lifts him. Now, I can't kill Thompson for taking him out because it was clear Nola was on the ropes.
Yeah.
Hand comes in. I think he had Cronenworth at 2 strikes and hits him with that big looping crap that he throws. That hits him. And then Drury, who's, okay, he crushes one and it's 6-4. And then Bell, who was awesome yesterday. And then it's 7-4.
See, I love Rob, the fan.
Right.
A lot of times even more so than Rob, the even keel analyst.
Right.
Because look, his blood's boiled. Look at that Irish blood.
I'm fired.
Look at his face. Look at his face.
He wants to fight now.
Now I don't feel good again. Now I'm
he's bad when he just goes.
Yeah, I can't even.
You said Hand with that looping crap he throws.
This is how bad I was last night. I couldn't even watch the ALCS. I'm like, I can't watch this. I watched NBA.
That game. You
I had to get away from baseball. I was so annoyed.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I was so annoyed. I had to get away from baseball.
That was a great game. The Astros-Yankees game? Great game.
I know. It was. Look, I love watching Verlander pitch.
Oh, my goodness.
But I was having a tough time. I was having a tough time last night.
Well, guys, I'm just realistically, I know they're not going to go 3 straight here, but I really do think they take 2 here.
Yeah,
they get back. They get back to San Diego and they win the first game.
Yeah, because game 6 and 7 are Wheeler Nola. Yeah.
Well, you're going to have to. You got to pull out all the stops. If you only got to throw him for 4 innings, just throw him for 4 innings. But you got to get the first one in San Diego. Just get that one, and we're good to go.
No,
because we're going to take 2 here. We're going to take 2 here.
I agree. I think you're right on. Honest to God, look, I could very much see that scenario where the Phillies, play it out in 6.
And you just
actually Wheeler would go Sunday. I'm sorry, Wheeler would go here on Sunday. My bad. And Nola would be game 6 out there. Sorry about that. Yeah.
So Rob, if
I don't
somehow,
like when he
some
does
way,
this right here. I hate when he does this.
Well,
he's trying to Woody Woodpecker me.
Right.
He's
trying to ease it on you. He's trying to ease it on you right now, but the way he's easing it on you, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Because I'm looking at Rob's blood boiling after game 2. Okay. And we've talked about all these positive scenarios for the Phillies, and rightfully so.
Yeah.
But what if the Phillies somehow, some way drop 2 out of 3 here? What's your weekend going to be like?
Not good. Yeah, no, not good, man. Not good. Not good. I can tell you, not good. I mean, it won't be good. You guys will not have a happy camper on Monday. I can promise you that much. I will.
Really?
Yes.
Man, if that's the case, I'm telling everybody I know to either watch live or watch this show or record this show and watch as your leisure on Monday. I'm telling everybody across the country, you have to see Monday's show because I will deliberately set Rob up. I will set him up the perfect softball pitch and let him roll.
Yeah, well, it's coming.
He's gonna come in. He's gonna come in on Monday and be like this. Wrong again, D-Gun.
Yes, I'm gonna pull a Brandon Graham.
I hope
BG your butt.
Look, I hope you do. But I'm saying that you have to look at all the
you
scenarios.
have to be the antagonist, man. Why do you have to be the See, I understand Marv, man.
Yeah.
I understand Marv.
That's right.
You know
I
what?
think I'm siding with Marv.
He was that big brother be sticking his finger in his ear, you know.
I'm Team Marv.
I did.
Now.
I used to thump him in the back of the neck.
See, that's what I'm saying. You can't do that, man.
Yeah, man.
Well, no, see, I'm a realist. See, there's a difference.
Me too.
I'm asking you questions that are valid questions. That's all I'm saying.
They are.
I said what? I'll have to ask you because you always like Mary Poppins. I don't ask you anything, man. You're like the modern day version of Mary Poppins.
Oh my God.
I'm always asked. I just want to know because there is a possibility.
Yeah, exactly.
We may see Rob as red as those banners behind him on Monday. There's a small possibility. Now, if I'm a betting man, this Lincoln, the Citizens Bank Park is going to be electric. I don't know if the Padres can handle what they're about to encounter here this weekend. But as I said earlier in this show, they had to go in New York and do the same thing for 3 games, right?
I agree.
Am I right or wrong?
No, look, Derek, I don't disagree. I think here's the beauty, man. Like, however you want to view it. Like, if you're the Padres, that's 100% how you're. I'm saying from a team perspective, that's 100% how you're viewing it. Phillies are saying to themselves, "Hey, we had a terrible one in Atlanta in Game 2. Look at what we did. We finished them." I'm telling you, that's the way both. They're both on
exactly.
The flight here. They're both thinking the same thing. So,
but what did they do to DeGrom in New York?
Yeah, they beat good pitching.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
And see, you guys are the optimists. I get it. But I have to put a little realist cap on these things also. I'm with you guys 100%. I'm with you 100%. Okay. But I'm saying there's a dark side.
Got you, man.
To the playoffs.
Well,
Barrett thinks I'm trying to antagonize Rob.
That's what you do, man. That's what you're just like, look, Captain Tony, D-Gun, did you know famous people don't fish? I can't go fishing right now because I got to do a game. And they're holding against me. My whole dock is holding against me. They're texting me right now, telling me, "Oh, okay, you're just too famous to fish. Oh, you got a billboard, so you can't fish anymore." They are killing me, man.
There is some truth to that. I agree with Captain Tony.
Don't do that, man.
Captain Tony, you are correct.
Don't start him. Don't start him because
Captain Tony, I can't tell you how many times he big time me in my lifetime in the brief amount of years I've known him.
Are you kidding me?
I couldn't agree with you more, Captain Tony. Captain Tony's right. Yeah. Yeah.
No, come on, man. I'd fish in the bathtub. You know this.
Meanwhile, Rob said, "I'm not a part of this. I don't want any parts of this."
Well,
I'm just sitting this. I'm just going to sit this.
I'll let you guys battle that one out. I got enough battles.
Rob, there's no battle. The facts are the facts.
But this is what I'm saying. We built this team. Well, I didn't build it. Milton built this team and paid heavy cash for this team to go out there and produce.
Yes.
Offensively. We knew we would be hindered.
Yes.
From a pitching standpoint.
And
we knew this. We knew from our bullpen on up that we're going to have some trying times. But one thing we can do is bat. You know what I'm saying? We can go hit. So let's score, man. Let's play a little small ball, whatever it takes, man. That's what we need.
Yes, make it look like the 2 games you played here against Atlanta. All right.
I agree with you 100%.
Yeah, sure you do. Let's get a quickie here. Let's get a quickie.
See, wait.
Here we go.
Rob's face is getting redder by the. I've never seen Rob this red.
No, I'm good. I'm okay. Like I'm honestly like
Barrett, is he red? Is he red?
Yeah.
I am red. Look, I'm naturally red. You guys know this. I mean,
no, this is a different shade. No.
Yeah. I'm still picking out like pieces of dead skin from my forehead being burnt from our remote on Friday. So that might be part of it too. Oh my God. I move and there's like dead skin falling.
He's like a lizard. He's shedding.
I am like a lizard. Yeah. It's wonderful.
Shedding like a lizard.
So much fun.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. All right, so we'll get a timeout. We're gonna come back Eagles, and we're gonna dive into Jalen Hurts through 6 games and the offense through 6 games. And then at 1:00, Keith Pompey is gonna join us, and we will talk Sixers home tonight for the home debut. All right, quick timeout. Okay, Woody Woodpecker did his job.
Yeah, look at
and we'll be back. Derek, Barrett, Rob, you don't get this anywhere else, folks.
He ain't cool, man. He's not cool.
Yes. All right. All right. Knowing who to trust with your finances. Yeah. Knowing who to trust with your finances can be a very scary proposition, right? We all know that. And I'm right there in the front of the line. Trust me when I tell you this. But I can tell you from personal experience that Jim Murray from Principal Financial Group, as someone that I absolutely trust with all my hard-earned money and savings. Found the right person. I want you to find the right person, whether it's retirement planning, 401k review, if you have a small business, you try to figure out your employee benefits. That's something else Jim can help you with. But he's there if you have any questions about anything. All right. I've entrusted my IRA, my 401k rollovers to Jim. I couldn't be any happier. You can be as well. Give him a call, 610-996-4751, 610-996-4751. You can also email him at Murray, MURRAY .jim@principal.com. That's Murray.jim@principal.com.
Go to get your game on. Go for the beers. Go for the cheers. Go for the hit and the hits. Go for the stakes and the stakes. Go to get your parlay on. Go to get your party on. Go for the scene. Go for the screens. Go for the gallery. Go for the win. Go to Ocean. Visit theoceanac.com to plan your visit.
Welcome to Pond Lee Hockey. We've helped over 100,000 injured and disabled workers obtain benefits, as well as some of the biggest settlements in the state. If you've been injured at work, give Pond Lee Hockey a call.
It's a fall car fest, and Jeff D'Ambrosio, Destination Downingtown, says, yes, you can. Jeff says, yes, you can choose from over 1,000 vehicles in stock with no wait. Yes, you can still get low prices, leases, and big discounts. Yes, you can still get low interest financing. And Jeff always says, yes, you can have a real deal buying experience without the hassle. When the other dealers say, no, you can't, Jeff says, yes, you can. Jeff D'Ambrosio, Destination Downingtown. Nobody treats you better. Jeep Adventure Days.
Welcome back in. Just me, all by my lonesome in two chairs. Hi, Robin Two Chairs. That was the name of my band in high school. Just hanging out with you on this Thursday. I said it's Robin the Two Chairs, Barrett. It's all good. That's the way we roll here on Sports Take. D Gun's probably got another deck project that's happening, or something happened with the grill. I don't know what's happening, but Barrett and I hanging out with you on this Thursday in the Delaware Valley. What did you? When he puts his headsets on, I need to bust his hump a little bit. What happened? What was there a grill issue? Something happened with one of the workers on the deck. What's going on here?
No, I had to explain to my wife how I stoked your fire. And she had her earbuds in. I thought she was ignoring me. She had her earbuds in, listening to something while she's getting ready. And so I had to explain it to her. And I told her, I enjoyed this moment. I think this is my favorite moment of the week. To be able, and then I said, of course, Barrett being Barrett, he has to jump and see, you're the big brother who's always poking the little brother in the ear.
Right.
No, I took an objective approach to the series coming up in Philadelphia. Rob didn't want to hear it. Barrett accused me of antagonizing. I'm deeply offended by not you, Rob, because you're so even keel, Rob. But Barrett, Barrett loves trying to get me in trouble every chance he gets.
Bro, you know that's you.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. You stay, doing that all the time.
Let me go to the adult on this show,
Where?
Mr. Ellis. Yeah. Did I not present you both sides of the equation?
You tried to be fair and balanced, but there was a little dig agenda.
All you need to do, because he was doing well, he was doing fine.
Who's
he? And then I thought about
he being me. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. And then all of a sudden I knew you were going to pick that. You know how you just pick that scab and some of it doesn't hurt, but then you hit that one piece that hurts.
Yeah. Look, and then it's bleeding a little.
Yeah. That's what you did.
Rob did exactly what I expected him to do. He took a positive approach. We're coming home for 3 games. This crowd is going to be electric here. The Padres have not heard a noise, a decibel level that they've heard all year long. And I said,
what did you do?
I said, and then from a realistic perspective, because that's what I do, Mr. Brooks, from a realistic perspective, I said, well, wait a minute, pump the brakes a minute. Because this same Padres team went into New York and beat 2 of the best pitchers in the game. Then they took 3 straight from a Dodgers team that has owned them for decades. They've always been the little brother to the Dodgers, 100 miles apart, okay? They've always been second tier to the Dodgers. They rose up and not only won 1 game, they beat them 3 straight. That's all I said.
Okay.
And the more I talked, the redder Rob
the redder I got. Yeah.
To the point, I didn't know. I couldn't tell his face from the 2 banners on each side of him.
I'm really an easy mark, man. It doesn't take much to get me cranked.
That's all I did, Mr.
That's
Brooks.
For sure.
I'm antagonizing? No, Mr. Brooks. What I did was I balanced the scale. That's all I did.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. Now you're good now.
But I enjoy stoking your fire.
I know you do. We all know everything. There was like half a truth, everything you just said. All right. So 1 o'clock, Keep Pompey. We got a Sixers game tonight. Let's see if they can bounce back. It doesn't get any easier, man. You go from Boston 2 nights ago to now the Milwaukee Bucks. But Bucks are banged up. But
Sixers will win this game.
Yeah, they should. You're right. They should at home. They should win this game. There's no Middleton, no Connaughton, and no Ingles.
No, they'll win this game.
You should win this one. All right. We'll get to
this. The Bucks' first game.
No, I believe they played.
Did they play? I thought this was the Bucks' first. Did they play?
Then don't quote me on that. I thought they didn't. Derek, you might be right. It is their first game. I'm sorry.
Okay.
It is their first game.
Yeah. So Sixers always have a game under their belt.
Yep.
They're ticked off because they got embarrassed in Boston. Oh, they're gonna come out blazing tonight.
Okay. All right. We'll get to that in a moment. So let's look at this from an Eagles perspective through 6 games, guys. And we know they have the bye week this week, and then it's Pittsburgh the following week when they get back. We went into the season feeling pretty good about how talented they were. And I will say Barrett had a lot of confidence in Jalen Hurts, but there were still a lot of people who weren't quite sure. A lot of people like me who said, let's wait and see. I want to see, he deserves this year, but I want to see it. I want to see improvement. And I got to say through 5 or 6 games, I have seen a lot of improvement. I've seen improvement to the point where I think that he is a guy who can take them deep here, real deep. If you just look at it numerically, and we'll get to like what the eyeball tells you too, but he's 8th in passing yards. He's 9th in completion percent.
Rob, you keep saying you can see him going deep.
Yeah, like deep.
Jalen Hurts. Okay, yeah, there we go. I won't say Jalen Hurts can win us a Super Bowl.
Oh yeah.
I want people to start acknowledging that he's good enough to. And I'm not saying he's a top 5 quarterback. I'm not even saying he's all the way made it into being a top 10. I know he's right on the cusp. We're talking about 11, 10, 9, 8, right around that range right now. I think that's where Jalen Hurts is. He's finally cracked the barrier from being 15, 14 to down near 11, 10, 9, 8 in that range as far as quarterbacks. He still has a lot to prove. I understand that, but still he's there.
I like your thinking, Mr. Brooks.
Yeah, no, listen, I'm with you. And look, it all bears out. You know, he takes care of the football. He's got 2 interceptions, which is 28th. He's at the very bottom there. He's a guy who scores. I don't freaking care if it's throwing or running. That argument drives me absolutely crazy.
I agree.
Oh, so as if running it in is less. You get 4 for that, not 6.
Right.
You know, I love the argument when people hit me with that.
Like the rugby scale.
Yeah. How many's he thrown for? I'm like, how many's he scored? Anyway. I'm getting red again.
Like it counts less.
Now I'm getting
I
red
don't understand.
again.
Like it's almost like if you win by 1 point or you beat them by 20 points.
Yeah.
It just says a W in the win column.
Yeah.
This isn't college football where they used to, style points were in the equation.
That's crazy. It's crazy. So he's first in rushing touchdowns, and a lot of the other numbers that are critical, third down efficiency, all the kind of are right where they need to be. And look, the things I worried about were going through progressions or rolling to your left, being willing to throw the ball against your body a little bit or take off that way, using the middle of the field. Like all of these things, I just needed to see it. And for my money, has it been absolutely perfect? No, but has it been really good through 6 games to the point where I think this guy has not only added all the intangibles that he had with leadership and smarts with tangibles on the field? Yeah, I feel great about Jalen Hurts, man.
Absolutely. He's done everything that you want from a quarterback that's a starting quarterback in the NFL. He's a guy that you can go in and make a franchise quarterback in the NFL. Did he do it like Dak Prescott? No. Did he have the weapons that Dak Prescott had when he first entered the league? No. So it's not going to be the same. It won't be the same as Dak Prescott. I think that's what people want him to be. But Dak, look at Dak right now. Dak is struggling when he is playing because he does not have that run game anymore. Mm-hmm. Now, he went total. The best I've seen Dak play was actually in a loss. It was last year, the first game of the year, when he went toe-to-toe with Tom Brady.
Right.
And it was arm versus arm, offense versus offense. But they no longer have that offensive line that they had. They have some real problems on the offensive line. So the same thing you saw with Cooper Rush, you're gonna see with Dak Prescott. Now he's gonna be functionally better than Cooper Rush. I mean, there's no doubt that with him being there, that team's gonna be a lot better team. Yes, he is, but he will still be running around, for his life like Cooper Rush was. So do I see there's a difference? There will be a difference, but will they still be enough to beat the Eagles? I don't think so.
Let me tell you what Jalen Hurts is doing right now. He'll take a minute to breathe this week, and then he's going right back in the film room. Absolutely. He's going to sit down. He's going to analyze by himself and with the coaches everything he did right and didn't do right the first 6 games. And those little things are the things he's going to hone in on for this 11-game stretch run that's coming up. Now, the good thing for him, he will get better, but he can still make mistakes and come out smelling like a rose when you look at some of the opponents they have coming up. You don't take any opponent lightly, but I'm just saying you cannot be as sharp as you want to be, but still be effective enough to look good in the stat column. I mean, they got Houston coming up. I mean, seriously. I mean, okay. I mean, think about what they have coming out of the gate here.
Right.
Okay. But he will get better. And this team will win double digits as long as they don't have a rash of injuries like a number of teams are having, and a number of problems teams are having, which I'll mention more when we get to our power ranking for this show. As long as they don't have a rash of injuries, because you started to see it, and it started to see it at the one place you didn't want to see it, which is the offensive line. Yep. That's right.
Yep.
So now you get these guys healed up, get the trainers and the doctors on them. Whatever you do in modern medicine, technology, and the game we love and watch today, to get them back to close to 100%, and you hit the ground running, and your quarterback is going to store a lot of stuff in the back of his mind, and he's going to display this stuff in the games coming up. And we're going to be sitting here every week talking about how good they look heading down the stretch.
Yeah, and the beauty is, we all know this when it comes to Hurts. He is his own harshest critic. So he's picking everything apart.
Absolutely.
From the first 6 games. He's not, he's not kicking back saying, oh man, look at me. So I think you're going to see a better Jalen Hurts in the second, whatever we're calling this, the second 11 games or whatever. I think
too much money on the table.
Yes, there's a lot of money left on the table. Yeah, as he will tell you. But yeah, I think that, and look, you look at this offense, guys. So you're 4th in scoring, you're 5th in rushing, you're 12th in passing. And there's a lot of other areas in which they have been very successful. And that's really all that matters to me is, you're scoring almost 27 per game. You know you can hurt teams in a lot of different ways, whether it's run the ball, pass the ball, whether it's A.J. Brown, whether it's Devontae Smith, whether it's Dallas Goedert, whether it's Miles Sanders. When you're healthy, you arguably have the best offensive line in football with all of these guys. You're getting Dillard back for depth, which means, God forbid something happens to Mailata and or Lane. You're plugging him in some fashion rather than Driscoll. No offense to Driscoll. He's fine. He's a utility knife guy. You have depth there too. So you feel good about where this team is right now.
You absolutely do. You absolutely do. This team is going in the right direction. And it's not just the players that are going to go in and correct. I mean, these coaches are not going to sit on their laurels. Coach Stoutland is going to see and figure out what lineups he needs to use, how he can push this button to make this look better. How can they make, Jalen Hurts and the offense look better in the second half? He's going to do whatever, because he's the run coordinator also. And when they're running well, it's because of Stoutland. Stoutland's the guy that, that really implemented the plays and which helped them go against the merit of defenses they go against. So with Stoutland being the run game coordinator, he's almost like the run offensive coordinator. Know they're going to get better. You know this.
Yes.
So when you're talking about a team like the Eagles, and I don't know if TJ Watt is going to be back. Is he going to be back this game? He might be back.
I think he's playing.
I think it's he's going to have to account for him just like he accounted.
It was like 6 weeks, Barrett. So I don't know. It's right in that window, maybe.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, he'll figure out a way in which he can block him also. But we're talking about one of the premier pass rushers in the league, in Micah Parsons, that they totally, I think, controlled the game, for the most part, especially when Lane was in there. That's the reason why they won that game. Micah Parsons wrecked shop. They were able to go out there and nullify him. They nullified Diggs. They did a good job of running an offense that was, that beat up on this Dallas team. Mm-hmm. Now, on the off week, the bye week is one of those things where you sit back and you analyze and you take all the information that you had over the past couple weeks and really put in what you do well and what you don't do well. Get a leg up on what's working, what's not working. And there's not a lot of things that weren't working for this team, but daggone it, they can get a lot better than they were. A whole lot better than they were.
My only concern is, I agree with everything you're saying, Stoutland, O-line. My only concern is Jonathan Gannon's defensive scheme, philosophy, not going to change. Not going to change.
No.
He's going to do what he's done to this point. It's going to look good, and we're going to scream because there's certain aspects of that defense, his scheme, that we're just going to have to live with the rest of this season. It's going to be an opportunistic defense because of the athleticism they have on that defense. But in terms of giving up chunks of real estate at the most inopportune times, you're going to have to live with that. We've watched it through 6 games, and the MO has basically been the same, except for the Vikings game. The MO has been the same for 5 out of the 6 games.
Yeah, and look, they're 6th in points allowed. They're averaging 17.5.
Yeah,
so
you're giving up real estate. They're not giving up points. You got to live with that.
And they're taking the ball away.
They're taking the ball away
at a really high frequency. So all in all,
that's not going to change.
Yeah, well, and we'll get into the defense, but all in all, it's been pretty good, man.
The only thing I say is when you think about his defense, he truly believes in his players than a lot more than we're giving him credit for. He believes in his players, and that's why you're not calling a lot of blitzes.
I agree.
You know what I'm saying? Fair. He believes in his front four that they can get there. That's why you don't see him blitzing a lot. But he does have the personnel that he can blitz whenever he wanted to.
Thank you.
Because he has the personnel. You know what I'm saying?
Barrett, let me put it like this, Barrett. And people have been bringing this up, and I've talked to a few people, and I'm starting to agree with them. Consistently, when you look at the money that's invested in their front four, I don't think just their 4-man rush is good enough to do it by themselves.
Right.
I don't. You see some 4-man fronts in the league, you can rely on their 4-man front all day in their rotation because they're coming all day. I don't think his 4-man front is good enough the way it's structured to get home. I think Hargrave and Fletcher Cox play well in spurts.
Yes.
I think Brandon Graham plays well in spurts. And, Brandon Graham, by the way, He's on my gun on one this week, and Brandon Graham's crazy as ever. So if you get a chance,
that was nice. Nice way you
like that transition. You like that?
You're like a Jedi.
I'm a salesman,
you're like
man.
A ninja the way you work in a plug.
Right.
That's awesome.
I'm a salesman, bro.
That's impressive. I'm telling you, that's a real art.
Josh Sweat plays well in spurts.
Yeah.
Okay, we agree on that, right?
I will say this. I'm glad you brought him up because he's somebody I wanted to dive into when we do defense in a little bit. He frustrates me.
Who's he?
Josh Sweat.
Okay.
I want more consistency out of him. I think it's there.
Okay.
But I don't think it's broad every game, every down, every snap.
Come on, Rob. Tell him again, man.
He's too good
That's Bears
to disappear.
guy, though.
I know. I don't dislike it. This is not I hate Josh Sweat.
No, I know.
I just want more out of him.
Yes.
I want more out of him.
Me too.
I want more out of the whole D line.
Yeah, I agree.
There's too much money invested in this D line.
Well, sometimes money doesn't always
then you know what?
ante up into production.
Well, then did you overpay him?
Like I said,
did you overpay them?
Sometimes money doesn't always.
I know what Barrett's saying. He got it a touch prematurely. Maybe.
Yes. Yeah. Thank you.
Who did?
Sweat.
But we applaud Howie for being that guy.
I know why Howie did it. He's trying to stay ahead of the curve and not have to pay him a ton. He's going to get him
same thing he did with what's his name, who's out for the season now?
Yes, Barnett.
Yep. Same thing. We applaud Howie for doing that, identifying the wreck, but you're not getting value on your. Well, you know what? I don't want to go too deep because, like you said, we're going to talk about.
We'll do. But no, I look fair, okay. But I think, look, we're diving into some minutia to an extent, things we want to see them get better at. No, but I think because we're looking at big picture, this is not like we're looking at how do you become that team that makes that deep playoff run, and because there is a lot of good. There's a lot of good.
Absolutely.
Far more good than bad on both sides, for sure.
But I just want you guys to know that with this particular show, I'm not here to be the happy, joy guy. I'm here to present both sides of every equation we discuss.
Okay.
Bro,
I just want you guys to understand this.
I absolutely understand it. I know that. And I've been doing this with you for years now.
Yes.
Going on 7 years now.
Yes.
The little time we've been together has been 7 years.
7 years too long. But go ahead.
Exactly. I mean,
keep talking.
I thought about it yesterday, man. I mean, you and Rob have been with me
in your life for a long time, you poor guy.
Yes.
You've been sentenced for a long time, Barrett.
Yes. 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 I am here not just to. This is not Gilligan's Island. This is not the Love Boat today. Okay.
Right.
Wow.
Okay.
I am here to present every side of the argument. I will agree with you. I will disagree with you. And I will throw caveats in that haven't been discussed. That's all I'm saying.
All right. Guess who's
next?
next?
I not have this?
Yes, you can. That's why we love you.
Thank you.
Next up, Keith Pompey from the Philadelphia
I'm sick of him
Inquirer.
already.
Yes, we will talk to Keith. We'll talk a little Sixers. You are in rare form today, my man.
He is, man.
This is awesome. All right, so let's get a timeout. We'll come back. We'll keep it rolling. Some hoops. We'll do the Eagles defense at 1:30 at 2 o'clock NFL, 2:30 like we usually do. We'll jump around a little bit. And Sixers fans may not be happy, and it has nothing to do with the team on the court, which we'll talk about. We'll get into that. I'll tell you why in a little bit. All right, don't go anywhere. D. Gunn, B. Brooks, Rob Ellis. We are Sports Take, JAKIB Sports YouTube Network. All right, so let's talk about Pro Action Restoration. If your home or your business has experienced the pain and inconvenience of fire, smoke, mold damage, whatever the case may be, that is the company that you reach out to. Pro Action Restoration is on call 24 hours, 7 days a week. In fact, they're down in Florida right now, helping people out who have been just hit so hard by Hurricane Ian, but that's how they do it, okay? I've gone through it personally. They were right out to my parents' house. They cleaned up the problem. The price was great. The crew was unbelievable. I couldn't have been more happy. They are licensed, bonded, fully insured. They've been serving the tri-state area for more than 2 decades. Pro Action will work in conjunction with your insurance company. So again, any of the above, water, fire, smoke, mold remediation, you name it, trust me, they can handle it. If you're not sure, give them a call. 610-623-3760, 610-623-3760, or you can reach out to them online at proactionrestoration.com. That's proactionrestoration.com.
It's a fall car fest, and Jeff D'Ambrosio, Destination Downingtown, says, yes, you can. Jeff says, yes, you can choose from over 1,000 vehicles in stock with no wait. Yes, you can still get low prices, leases, and big discounts. Yes, you can still get low interest financing. And Jeff always says, yes, you can have a real deal buying experience without the hassle. When the other dealers say, no, you can't, Jeff says, yes, you can. Jeff D'Ambrosio, Destination Downingtown. Nobody treats you better. Jeep Adventure Days.
Go to get your game on. Go for the beers. Go for the cheers. Go for the hit and the hits. Go for the stakes and the stakes. Go to get your parlay on. Go to get your party on. Go for the scene. Go for the screens. Go for the gallery. Go for the win. Go to Ocean. Visit theoceanac.com to plan your visit.
At Pond Lehocky, we've recovered billions of dollars for our clients, and we're confident we can do the same for you. With over 250 years of combined courtroom experience, we've helped over 100,000 injured clients obtain some of the largest settlements in Pennsylvania. One conversation is all it takes to help you and your family get back on track. If you've been injured in an accident, give Pond Lehocky a call.
Go passionately. Go fearlessly. Go confidently.
Go Birds!
Go confidently towards your goals with First Trust, Philly's hometown bank for nearly 90 years, and the official bank of the Philadelphia Eagles. We're focused on getting you over the goal line. So go with conviction. Go with trust.
Go Birds!
And go forward with us by your side. First Trust Bank, the official bank of Philadelphia dreams. Oh, and go Birds.
Welcome to Pond Lehocky. We've helped over 100,000 injured and disabled workers obtain benefits, as well as some of the biggest settlements in the state. If you've been injured at work, give Pond Lehocky a call.
Go for the beers. Go for the cheers. Go for the hit and the hits. Go for the scene. Go for the screens. Go for the gallery. Go for the win. Go to Ocean.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Thanks for hanging out with us. We're Sports Take, JAKIB Sports YouTube Network. We are with you for 3 hours of power, Monday through Friday, 12 to 3. Gunner?
What?
You all right? You gonna be okay?
I'm just enjoying the moment. I'm enjoying it, and then I'm listening. I'm looking at the chats. They're enjoying this.
Good. I like it. That's why we're here for your amusement, my friend. That's why we're here.
I'm having a great time.
I love it. I love it. You know who always brightens the show when he's on, and we haven't had him on in a little while, and he's going to be joining us momentarily. Does a great job covering the Sixers, for sure. And it's an interesting season from a Sixers perspective, because you come in with, let's face it, high expectations. I mean, you have James Harden, you have Joel Embiid, you have PJ Tucker, excluded Tyrese Maxey. This is not necessarily a young roster anymore. So the time to win is now. That's for sure. Did not start off all that well the other night in Boston, but they take on the Bucks
I hadn't
tonight.
thought about that, man.
Yeah, I mean,
You're right. They're not a young roster. Yeah,
they are not. They're really, really not. But joining us right now, as I mentioned, excellent reporter and writer for the Philadelphia Inquirer covering the Sixers. You can follow him on Twitter at Pompey, Pompey on Sixers. It's Keith Pompey. What's happening, Keith?
What's good, fellas? How y'all doing?
Keith, it's good to see you, man. It's been a while. Thanks for joining us. So let me get your impressions of the other night before we get into Milwaukee, Keith. A game where, let's face it, defensively, they really weren't up to the standard that they need to be. They give up 35 in the third quarter. Just let's start there. What did you see defensively from them against Boston?
I basically saw what I saw in the second preseason game, where perimeter, they just give up a lot of points in perimeter defense. To me personally, it looks like you have a team where you have Tyrese and James Harden, who aren't exactly good defenders, So what you have to do is rely on a lot of switching and rotations, and guys are getting there late, but they're giving up a lot of open shots. I also see where you're relying on a lot of older players guarding some of these young guys. And like you guys said, and it looked like to me, and I tweeted this out, it looked like the young boys came to the park were full of old heads, and the old heads thought they could still run with them. When you got that reality check, you know what I mean? So that's what I saw. That's what I saw.
Great analogy, man. Great analogy, man. Because I didn't see Embiid. It's not as though he looked unenthused with being there, but I didn't see that explosiveness that I've come to know him. Even as far as hustle to the ball. We used to tell him, no, don't do that. I don't see that reaction that we used to have with him, man. I didn't see him playing defense the way I know or I'm accustomed to him playing defense. I mean, where are they at, in his progression this year with Embiid specifically?
There's two things going on. I think that, they got to come together and have a common ground on what they want to do. You know what I mean? Like, Joel is used to everything being his team, and now he's basically sharing it, right? Secondly, I think something else that happened is, when Joel was telling everybody, like, what were you doing this summer? I was sitting on the couch. And people were looking at him like laughing, like, nah. But actually, he had to rest while he was rehabbing this summer. And I think that, the last 2 years, we saw Joel come in the best shape possible. And I think right about now is one of those things where he's getting back in shape as he's playing. And, but again, I do think that there could have been some plays where he got to the ball a little bit better than he did. But at the same time, I think that, we have to realize that he's not like he was the previous 2 years.
Love that. I appreciate that. I love that because I needed to know that. That's what guys used to do back in the day. They used to use the first, camp and to get in shape, get in football shape. I look at the game totally different now when I'm looking at him.
So Keith, based on what you said initially, is this what we're just going to have to endure with the Sixers team? It's going to be hit or miss many times with their defense. We looked at the roster and talked about how it's a better defense. It's a better defensive defense. Maybe not a better overall scoring team. Is that just something we're just going to have to endure?
Yeah, I think that it could get better, but I just think that right now you have so many new faces, and also when you look at the starting backcourt, I mean, you look at these two guys and you say to yourself, like, they're not known for defense,
right.
And then when you have so you have PJ Tucker, who's older guy, he's more, get in your face. He's more like an offensive lineman to me.
Yeah,
not, but you might need you might need an H-back in there or something like that. You know what I'm saying? So he's more that role. So he's always going to be at a mismatch to me, guarding some of these guards that they can't guard. So the way that this lineup is just you have him, PJ Tucker, and Joel Embiid, and the rest of the guys aren't known for their defense. So then when you bring in these reserves, they have to do so much work to get there. And I think that they're in a mismatch because of that.
Right. Keith, speaking of that, and I know it's only one game, so I'm not trying to say this is what everything's going to look like here, but it was a tough night for the bench too. And I like what they did in the offseason. Melton was a really good addition. House is going to help them. You've added some firepower and some guys who could do a couple different things, multi-players, but they look way out of, they look like an unprepared team, period. And some of that reflects on Doc.
Yeah. I mean, here's the thing. I looked at that team, that game, and because in the preseason, all of them didn't play, and you don't know if guys are going half speed or whatever. So it's hard to evaluate. But when I watched it last night or 2 nights ago, it looked like the same team of a year ago.
Yes.
I mean, the difference was you had DeAnthony Melton, you had Montrezl Harrell, and you had Daniel House Jr. instead of Matisse Thybulle, Shake Milton, and Furkan Korkmaz. That was the only difference. It was just different names on the back of the jersey. And, the one thing that I felt like that could have been done, I just felt like there could have been better adjustments, especially in that third quarter. I mean, you have two guys who ended up going for 30. You had one who is one of the top 5 guys in the league, voted that way last year, and Jason Tatum going for 17. And Matisse Thybulle only played 3 seconds in that quarter and 23 seconds a game. I get it. Matisse needs to work on his offense. But when you see people who are offensive minded who can guard this guy, it comes a point where you got to insert that guy to at least try to help put out the fire. And that didn't happen. So, I just think that the Sixers didn't make the proper adjustments that they needed to make. And that hurt them in that game.
Chemistry has been a big thing here in Philadelphia, this year. Look at the baseball team, how those guys are, the chemistry they have is unbelievable. You look at the Eagles, their chemistry is unbelievable. And I really thought that this team would be a tighter team because a lot of these guys they brought in are guys in which this team requested. Joel wanted PJ. They wanted a guy to come out and play defense better. How long do you think it's going to take for them to gel together as a team and that bond? Because if you look at the Celtics, man, that team, man, you can tell they going over their old lady's crib and having dinner every night. You know what I'm saying? Like mom is cooking, cooking for the entire team. You could tell how tight they are as an organization. I know it has a lot to do with their head coach and them rallying around their new head coach, the younger guy. But I need this team to gel, man, and I don't know how much they gel. We know we're going to get from, Tyrese Maxey. We know we're going to get from that, you know what I'm saying? But as far as gelling with everybody being one unit, will Embiid be able to gel with the rest of the pieces that are going to be in there? Will they be able to facilitate him and make him a better player, while they're doing it?
And that's like to be determined, man, because see, here's the thing, Barrett, like the deal is, so a lot of these new guys that are coming in, we all know that they're boys, like they're James Harden's guys, right?
Right, all of them are, yes.
And there's so many of them. It's not like they have to assimilate. I mean, if you really want to be real, like they don't. They come in and they already have a voice, right? Like James is a leader. PJ Tucker is like a leader, this and that. I call him the muscle, right? James is the leader, but PJ is the muscle.
I call it, you need that a-hole sometimes.
Yeah, you need that. But here's the thing.
What's that?
I didn't say the word. I just said a-hole.
Yeah. So,
is that against the law? You can't do that either?
No, you can do it.
Okay, all right.
You can say the other word if you want to.
No, I'm not gonna say that. Mom's on the line.
Okay.
So here's the question, y'all, that really has to be answered, and time will tell. So you got all these guys coming in. They were the first 3 guys off the bench, right? People don't argue. Like people don't say, and you played at the highest level. What you do is you're sitting on the bench, underneath everything. You're upset, but you can't let people know it. So you get there and you cheer and you do everything. But as soon as your wife calls you on the phone and you get home, babe,
these mothers
had to go through this stuff, right? So my thing is, when you're successful and people have success, you don't want to say anything. But when you see all these older guys, I mean, guys who've been here before, not getting any burn, then all of a sudden we can say the chemistry is right. But then they can say like, yo, what's going on? Like, were we that bad? You know what I mean? Especially if the team starts struggling. Like
George Niang, something like that.
Well,
like
George Niang played, but
he got minutes.
He played.
Matisse types. You're talking Matisse types. Yeah.
We're talking about Furkan. We're talking about Shake. Because what happens is Matisse is like, well, y'all saying like, and I'm just saying like, he didn't say this to me, but what I'm saying is it could happen where Matisse is like, well, y'all were trying to trade me this summer. Why didn't you trade me?
I don't know.
Play. Shake Milton is like, y'all picked up my option just for me to sit the bench. Paul Reed, like, y'all guaranteed my contract. And all these guys are guys who are low minute guys who they're not like Tobias Harris, for instance, where you're getting paid. Right. These are guys who are like borderline roster type spot guys. So when you have so many of those and they're looking at the other guys and outside you're cheering, it could come a time where the team culture and chemistry could go out the window if they feel as if like, why am I here? You know what I mean? Because there's so many of them now. But I will say that James and the guys, they came in and they're trying to get all these team bonding sessions and all that. But again, like if they start struggling or they get out and guys are looking at their roles, I think it could go left. I think it could go left.
Hey, Keith, what I want to ask you next is a question that I don't like doing this because I don't like being the general fan, but because I've been accused of stirring the pot today on so many different topics, I might as well put some more, bro. I might as well put some more seasoning in that pot. And so, you know, and I love your honesty and insight every time we talk to you. And so it's going to come up, and I might as well start it before everybody else jumps on the bandwagon. Is Doc Rivers the right man to lead this team to get to where it needs to go? And I know we're only one game into the season. Yep.
Yeah, Keith, welcome back, man.
Yep.
We're not going to ease you in at all.
I gotta go.
Yeah. Man, oh man.
I'm just saying. I'm listening. You talk about, and it was a great. And this is what sparked my question. What you just said about the mindset of some of these players that are here, that are holdovers who are here. So, with that said, is Doc the right guy to take them to that next level?
You know, that's a great question, and it's a
Thank
real
you.
question. And you know, I think is one of those, and I'm not taking the fifth,
Right.
but I think it's one of those to be determined questions, and we'll find out quickly. Because you know, the one thing is, I like Doc. I mean, I think Doc is a great coach. He also had when he was the most successful, he had strong leaders and strong players, right? You had Chris Paul, you had Kevin Garnett, right? You had Paul Pierce, those type of guys. I think that right now that Doc is in a tough situation because you have a new group coming in, but then you have an old group. And it's like we're all seeing these changes. And if things don't go right for certain people, because you can't make everyone happy. Right. If things don't go right for certain people, you know, Doc could be in trouble with the guys in the locker room. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. And then like the one thing I think that if Doc had it all over to do again, the fact that he didn't play Matisse Thybulle more minutes, I think like that's a bad reflection on the coaching staff. Mm-hmm. Now, again, he's going to get mad at me. He's going to say, why do you say that? But deep down inside, I think when he goes home and he talks to whomever, he has to think like, maybe I messed up. You know what I mean? And then when you do stuff like that, you could lose certain people. You know what I mean? Now, so that's why I'm to be determined. Now, here's the thing that Doc has to worry about. Like right now, I think we all saw that video where he said it's not a democracy, right? Yep. When he was talking to James Harden. Now, if Joel Embiid doesn't roll to the basket, if Joel Embiid struggles a little bit, and then next thing you know, James is like, well, bruh, it is a democracy. How do they deal with that? Because then all of a sudden you got the primary ball handler, you know, doing what he wants to do. So that could be a real tricky situation on Doc, you know, for him. So, you know, to be determined is because, you know, I think when you have a guy like a James Harden, when you have a Joel Embiid, you need a strong personality, someone who's won something to lead them. But at the same time, I feel like if this stuff goes left and if they don't go far in the playoffs, you know, this is definitely going to be Doc's last year.
Yeah, no question about that. All right, on a positive note, Keith, Harden did look good, man. I mean, you know, the step back was there. They looked more agile. You know, a lot of positives as far as his game. Are you buying the, transformed body? He's healthy. Look out this year.
He did look great. I will say that. But again, I need a couple more games because you remember when James Harden first appeared, when he first came here last year, they went to Memphis. And no, they went to Minnesota. And I remember Joel was saying, wow, I was so wide open. And then they played the Knicks and he had 32 points. And we were like, wow, my gosh, this team is going to be great. Right. Then they came home and it was a little hitch. And then all of a sudden things started to struggle. So the thing
against
about
Boston.
Huh? Oh, yeah,
against Boston, the home game against Boston.
Yeah, you know, so it's kind of like, you know, one of those things where, you know, these guys in the NBA, it's like an 82 game schedule. You take an elite guy, you play the first game after a couple months, you expect them to perform that way. The true test is can he do that at his age, day in and day out? So that's the question mark with James. But you're right. He did look good. I mean, he was the best player on the court for the Sixers. But, he was the best player on the court when he first came those first 3 games, too. So the question is, we got to see if he can sustain that.
Guys, I mean, you look throughout the league, and you look how fast these teams are. You look at the Celtics; they're so fast. Memphis, Golden State, the champions. These teams are so fast getting up and down the court. Transition. Even Atlanta. Can the 76ers compete with that type of speed on the court when they have players like they have right now?
Not if they're going to have to switch that lineup up a little bit. I mean, they're going to have to get a little deeper. I mean, they're going to have some other players to play, because the problem is, the Sixers, they just have some holes. They have some. And the scary part about what you just said is, if we really want to be honest with ourselves, that Boston team wasn't even at full strength.
Mm-hmm.
Like they were missing players.
Yeah, Williams is out. That's huge.
That's right.
Yeah. I mean, they were missing players. And I look at this team and like y'all said, the Sixers went from being one of the youngest teams in the league to being an old squad, at least with their starting lineup. And I don't know if those starters can compete. So you're going to have to, compete with that up and down pace. Maxey can, but I don't think collectively the whole unit can. They would have to go a little bit deeper. They can't do that unit, no.
And see, Keith, I looked at it, I said, Maxey's playing at a different speed than the rest of these guys. So where's the balance? Do you slow him down? Or do you tell these other guys, you got to speed it up? Because Barrett brought up a good point. The better teams in the league are playing at a faster pace than most. Now, the Sixers have that imbalance. You have a young guy who's on the cusp of being a superstar who plays at a lightning speed compared to other guys who don't play at that speed. Yeah. So how do you balance the two?
It's weird, man. And I think that's the problem because, like what they say is when they get out, they want to give the ball, like kick the ball up to Maxey and let him go. But then at the same time, they know they can't win playing that basketball with Harden on the floor and Embiid on the floor right now. So that's why you got to get these post ups. But but if every team in the league is going, they know like Joel's going to get tired. They know Harden can't keep up anymore. So what they're going to do is they're just going to speed it up and keep that track meet. And the problem is once you slow it down, it's basically, yes, you got that 2-man game, but I think you're taking away some of Maxey's strengths. The Sixers say that he's the fastest guy in the league, right? That's what they say. I don't know if that'd be true or not, but that's what they say. But so if you got the fastest guy in the league and you're kicking it up, that's a huge strength. But when you're in that half court and you can get a body on him, you're taking away that strength. So you got to balance it out. But I just think that when we talk about roster upgrades, it just seems like they need a couple more pieces to fit what they're trying to do.
Don't tell me that because I thought they had the pieces.
And that's what we all kept speculating all offseason is how much better this roster looked, how much better it looked in a defensive standpoint as well. And again, it's only one game. There has to be some adjustments. Our analysis, I think, across the board is accurate right now in terms of what we saw based on one game. But there has to be a better balance.
And you're going to get a good test tonight, Keith. And I know the Bucks are banged up. No Middleton, no Connaughton, Ingles, whatever. But we're going to get a better gauge too. It's not like it gets a ton easier here. You get the Greek Freak and that crew. Holiday. That's going to be a tough one.
Yeah, it's going to be a huge one because not only the thing is when we look at the Greek Freak and you look at Holiday. Both of these guys are, first team, all defensive caliber players, right? Yeah. So you look at that and you also look at Brook Lopez, who is a hard matchup for Embiid to guard because he's always mobile and he's like, next thing you look around, he's draining the corner 3, right? Yeah. But also, this is another test because, here you go, you have PJ Tucker. I mean, I know he played for the Bucks. He's real good friends with Giannis. But you say to yourself, this is what we brought you here for. Mm-hmm. This is the type of guy we need you to defend, right? And then you have Drew Holiday, and I'm looking at Drew Holiday saying, yo, I'm gonna take Harden or I'm gonna take Maxey, and the other one is going to have to beat us. So it just seems to me that yes, they are banged up, but this is going to be another sign to tell us what the Sixers really have. What do they have? And again, you can't use the excuse that we're trying to get stuff together when you look at this Milwaukee Bucks team, and a lot of the players didn't play in the preseason, and they have 3 key guys on the team that aren't going to play tonight. So, you know what I mean? So it's one of those things where I'm looking at it is a tough task. And defensively, we'll get a better idea to see what Harden can do and on the offensive end, and a better idea to see what PJ Tucker can do on the defensive end.
All right, I got to ask you, last night Ben Simmons makes his debut, Keith, and it was pretty inauspicious. 4 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 of 3 from the floor, 0 of 2 from the free throw line, turned it over 3 times, was a minus 26 in 23 minutes, and the Pelicans blew the doors off of the Nets, man. Is that going to be a team that's going to be a long work in progress for all those guys to sort of acclimate to one another?
Yeah, you know what? And I don't really like the team. I mean, because when I saw them go up against the Sixers, I was a little shocked at how they play, and it looks like it looks like like an AAU team. Where you got a lot of great athletes and great players, but I don't know the direction. I mean, you're looking at Ben Simmons, and you look at his role, right? It's kind of like you bring the ball up, and then you just pass it quickly, and you just out of the game. And then defensively, you want him guarding post players sometimes, and like Giannis, but it just seems like I don't know what direction they're headed in, and I think, like you saying, if it takes a while, they better turn that thing around quickly, because we're talking about KD wanted out, Kyrie wanted out, and if they continue to play this way, I can see them saying, "Hey, we told y'all needed to fire the coach,
Steve Nash." Yeah.
Steve Nash. What's going to happen? It just doesn't look like it. Looked like the Sixers had a better plan for Ben than Brooklyn does, and more involved. It's just bring the ball up, let me pass it, and get out of the way. I just don't like what they're doing over there.
I'm still surprised he's playing.
Are you? Yeah. But on paper, you would think is a great fit for him.
Yeah, because he's not going to be required to shoot it a ton. It should work for him. Yeah,
but he just doesn't seem as active as he should be.
Yes.
Hey, your head coach said, "I don't care if he shoots at all this season. There's so many other intangibles in his game that we welcome."
See, we've heard that before, Derek.
Yeah, I know. Well, I know
2 times before, right?
I know.
Yeah. Yep. Third iteration of that. Listen, Keith, keep up the good work, man. Always appreciate your insights, and tell everybody check out your work, inquirer.com, and of course on Twitter @Pompey on Sixers. Keith Pompey, thanks, man. Appreciate you,
bro.
Appreciate you, bro.
Thanks for having me, y'all.
All right, take care. That is Keith Pompey. Cover the Sixers, who play tonight 7:30 against the Bucks at the Wells Fargo Center. Should be a lot of fun. All right, guys, we come back. We will turn our sights to the Eagles defense. We did the offense a little bit earlier. We'll do the defense. We'll talk about the NFL at 2:00 and the game tonight. In fact, we have a game tonight, Cardinals and the Saints. We'll get into that as well. All right, don't go anywhere. We are Sports Take, JAKIB Sports YouTube Network. Derek, Barrett, Rob. All right, let's talk about Flynn Tree Services. Flynn Tree Services is an experienced, licensed, and insured Pennsylvania tree services company that will trim or remove any unwanted trees off of your property. They offer cost-effective solutions to any tree problem that you may face. So if you have any types of issues with your trees in your yard or on your property, they can just be a quick phone call away. It's very simple. They're experts at trimming all types of trees, and they serve southeastern Pennsylvania, South Jersey, and northern Delaware. Flynn Tree Services specializes in tree removal, stump grinding, and tree pruning. Now, keep in mind, we're in that time of year with storms. Heavy storms can be pretty bad. We know that, right? It's a good time to have your trees evaluated. You go to their Facebook or Instagram page for more information or a sampling of their work. Give Flynn Tree Services a call, 610-850-2848, 610-850-2848, or you can reach out online, flynntreeservices.com. That's flynntreeservices.com.
Go to get your game on. Go for the beers. Go for the cheers. Go for the hit and the hits. Go for the stakes and the stakes. Go to get your parlay on. Go to get your party on. Go for the scene. Go for the screens. Go for the gallery. Go for the win. Go to Ocean. Visit theoceanac.com to plan your visit.
Welcome to Pond Lehocky. We've helped over 100,000 injured and disabled workers obtain benefits, as well as some of the biggest settlements in the state. If you've been injured at work, give Pond Lehocky a call.
It's a fall car fest, and Jeff D'Ambrosio, Destination Downingtown, says yes, you can. Jeff says yes, you can choose from over 1,000 vehicles in stock with no wait. Yes, you can still get low prices, leases, and big discounts. Yes, you can still get low interest financing. And Jeff always says yes, you can have a real deal buying experience without the hassle. When the other dealers say no, you can't, Jeff says yes, you can. Jeff D'Ambrosio, Destination Downingtown. Nobody treats you better. Jeep Adventure Days.
Hey, we're back on this edition of Sports Take, this Thursday edition. Somehow, Rob has mysteriously disappeared. I'm here with my little buddy. There, Barrett, this is one of my 4 pride and joys right here. This is Ariana, affectionately known as Ari. Say hi.
You know I know.
Everybody?
You know I know.
Tell them hi.
Mamas. Hey, mamas.
Can you wave real quick? Say hi.
Hi, mamas.
Say hi. Wave. Say hi.
Hi.
And she's like,
Hi,
"What
honey.
are you?" She's like, "That what do you got me doing here?" Huh?
Oh my gosh.
I got her. I got
She
her
is
a present too, so I've already wooed her also.
Yeah. All right. Give her away. Say bye.
Bye, babe.
Oh, she said no bye. You want to leave her, Tata?
She needs more camera time with Tata.
Can you blow him a kiss? Blow them a kiss.
Mwah.
She said no.
Mwah.
Say never. All right, you can take her. Bye.
Oh, so cute.
Oh,
Thank God she got her
Rob.
grandmother's looks. Thank
Right,
you.
hey,
What?
Rob.
what?
I mean, did I say that out loud? What?
Really? You took the D gun approach?
Was
Really?
that my out loud voice?
Hey,
Yeah.
Rob. I've already, smooched her also. I came in giving gifts. You know what I'm saying?
Bearing gifts, yeah.
You got to work over the grandkids first. You know what I'm saying?
Work
then they'll
your way
lead
up.
you.
Yes.
Yeah, they'll lead you to the empire, the evil empire. So
I like it.
couple of weeks ago, man, she had this RSV. I don't know if you guys are familiar with this. It's like a respiratory infection, and man, she was hooked up to all these tubes and stuff in the hospital. Had to stay in the hospital 4 days. And the thing that really got me was when I got to the hospital, dude, there were so many kids
Yes.
on gurneys. Instead, they didn't have enough rooms for all these kids. I guess this has been going on since early September. This virus,
Yep.
And croup has now, croup has usually been a winter virus. I know a nurse at the Children's Hospital. She said they've been having multiple croup cases since July.
Yeah.
They said ever since COVID, COVID has really messed up a lot of kids' immune systems. And so I started talking to friends across the country, and they're talking about how children's hospitals are swamped with kids that are going through this RSV. I'd never heard of it before. Yeah. And so I'm only saying it because if you have kids between ages of newborn and 5 years old, and if you recognize them having like difficulty in breathing and stuff like that and congestion, don't mess around. Get them to the hospital, get them to a doctor right away, because this thing ain't no joke. I mean, her fever spiked at one point 104, and her lips were turning blue and stuff like this.
Jeez.
Wow. It ain't no joke, man. And the funny thing is, once they got her all these antibiotics and fluids, 4 days later, it was almost like it never happened. She was back to her old self. But man, I know a lot of people out there have small kids, and do not mess around with this thing, man, because since COVID, there are a lot of viruses that we are enduring now we've never even heard of before. Mm-hmm. And now this COVID obviously is mutating into many different things. And even for guys our ages, man, you got to be careful. The home remedies that we used to use, I feel the sniffles and stuff like that, dude. Don't play with this stuff, man, because it ain't no joke.
Well, the only thing is, man, I hate the fact they're taking that COVID virus and trying to put it into the flu virus. You know what I'm saying? Yes. But they're not asking us, if they can do it or not, if we're cool with it or not, so they can at least, so you can at least kiss us, you just can't just go and just go at it. You got to at least kiss us a little bit. They're not kissing us, man. Let us know what's going on.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You gotta let us know what's going on.
Yeah, it's it, man.
But that's one of my little pride and joys, and that's it.
It's beautiful.
You brought her. You had to bring her while I'm working. You couldn't wait until 3:00 to bring, So.
Hey, it was never a bad time for that, man.
Right. She wanted you, man. That's what it was. She wanted a tata. So
she loved her tata, and to give her back to it. No, and her favorite word is no and never. Never. 14 months old. She's mastered those two words already. So.
Oh, that's awesome.
She's learned from the best.
That's right.
I'm a very agreeable person, Mr. Brooks.
I'll let you tell it.
She's learning from her Uncle Barrett. Yes.
Right. There you go.
All right, let me ask you guys this, because we did this for the team yesterday, but I want to do this specifically for the Eagles defense. Who's the MVP?
See, that's
the Eagles
hard.
Defense.
Yeah, who's the MVP so far through 6 games?
Wow, I'll let you guys answer. I got to think about that one.
I'm still taking Slay.
You got to explain that to me, unless you want me to explain mine first.
All right, I'll go Slay for this reason. You can single him up on the best, and he is not only going to contain him, but he's also in some cases going to take the ball away. He is a guy you don't. I like that you don't have, and Bradbury's been awesome. Don't get me wrong. I'm taking nothing away from Bradbury. I think he's been incredible. The Eagles haven't had a corner tandem, even in this conversation, really,
trio.
Since Lito and Sheldon. And that's a long time. I just think it makes such a difference. And he's also complemented by a guy. Yeah, the trio, you're right, Barrett, the three of them. But if with Maddox, if you throw to throw Bradbury with him, I think it's just made him that much better. If there was more consistency from the offensive line, I might go with somebody there. But tell me where you're at on this.
I'm going with TJ Edwards. This defense goes where he goes. He's a signal caller. He makes things work. A lot of the times we don't see and hear the things that he does, but you see him starting to show up in the win column as far as he's averaging like 9-10 tackles a game.
Right.
He stops the run. He's out. He plays coverage. He's done everything that you want from a starting good middle linebacker. He's no longer somebody that I think about as being somebody undrafted that had to work their way on the squad. He's a bona fide star to me in this league right now, and he's not getting the accolades because we have so many good players on the defensive side of the ball. Everybody wants to talk about the Slays, the Bradburys, guys like that, but he's like the unsung hero nobody's talking about, yet he leads this team in tackles. Mm-hmm. He leads this team on the defense on the field. He's a quarterback of the defense. So he is major. He's the major cog to make that whole machine run, man. What I'm saying? Where he twirls and gets things going, everybody else plays at a higher level. We struggled for a short time against Arizona because he was having a bad game.
Right.
And then he turned it around and then started, then it started going in the right direction. But I think this defense goes where he goes.
And listen, hard to argue TJ Edwards. I think he's unsung, but certainly as impactful as anybody. How about you, Derek?
I agree with both of you, but because you chose the players that you chose, and both of them were on my list, I'm going to go with Bradbury. And here's the reason why. I think his presence alleviates a lot of the burden on Slay on the other side. I think it allows Gannon to do more things, which I think he needs to do. I'm well documented on record saying I think Gannon needs to do even more games in his front seven than he does. But Bradbury has been tested time again. He has answered every challenge. He has given the Eagles this ability to play more man coverage than they've ever played before since the likes of Lito and Sheldon, I think. And everything that he was billed to be, he has been that. The Giants admitted they didn't want to let him go. They just couldn't keep him, at that time. I think we're looking at the James Bradbury that was played at a Pro Bowl level in Carolina right now. And he's playing on a mission. He's getting a decent buck here. And when I looked at the numbers, I thought he was underpaid. But his contract is $7.5 million base, and with incentives can escalate to beyond $10 million. Who's to say he won't earn that $10 million this year? If you can keep him healthy. I think he's physical. He's aggressive. He can run with most receivers. I don't like a lot of how Gannon utilizes both him and Slay, playing them off the receiver 7, 8, 10 yards. That drives me nuts. When you have two corners of that caliber, when you look at the other better defenses in the league, what do? You see them lining up in the faces. We saw it the other night with both the Chargers and Denver. They put their corners right in the face of which makes that quarterback pat that ball. Why were the numbers so inconsistent, so bad? Well, Russell Wilson's off, but even with Justin Herbert, he had to throw 57 passes, and what was that record I gave you? 57 passes is the most passes in the history of the game
without a touchdown. Yes.
Okay. There's a reason for that. It's because of the way the corners played them guys. The secondary played them guys. I want to see the Eagles do more of that. They now have those corners that can do that, and you have Avante in the slot, and as well. I think Bradbury has to be considered as his defensive MVP for coming in here, defensive MVP, coming in here, learning this scheme, playing it to the best of his ability, whatever's called, and I think he's played it at an exceedingly high level.
It's pretty great when you can make a case for like 3-4 different guys on one side of the ball. You know
Absolutely,
what I mean? That's a very good sign for this Eagles defense.
Yeah,
go ahead, Barry.
I'm sorry, because Bradbury, he brings so much to the equation also as far as his physicality and his size and speed, the way he plays. That's something that you don't really look at, man. But he plays long, he plays big. He's a big cornerback, man.
He is.
And even that tip ball, the way he played it, it was actually
absolutely.
It was
the
cover
speed
4.
He covered. That's right.
Yeah, exactly. So it was cover 4, and in that scheme, he had to play inside out. And if that player goes vertical, he had to stick to a man. But what he did was he understood that he had help over the top because it's cover 4. He had a too high safety out there, so he could be more aggressive and sitting down and playing the pass and playing the throw from the quarterback. And he was able to tip it, which led to the turnover.
Right.
Those are all things, as far as him just understanding. Then with Slay on his interception, same thing. They were running cover 4. He knew he had help over the top. He played the receiver inside out, but he could play underneath and play more aggressive and play the throw as opposed to playing the player because he had help over the top. And, he trusted his safety. Both guys trusted their safeties, and they were able to make big plays because of it. So, yeah, man, those cornerbacks, man, it's hard, especially when we've been starved with wanting cornerbacks, 2 good cornerbacks for so long. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah, you guys are right, man.
Well, props to, and Mr. Taz points this out, and a couple different people have mentioned him, but I'll give CJ Gardner-Johnson big-time props for acclimating that quickly. He's done a nice job kind of getting used to some things, and he's a playmaker. You see that. But all right, so let's go through, and we just hit on a couple, Bradbury and maybe CJ Gardner-Johnson, but the new faces and what the returns are. Hassan Reddick. I think he's just it feels like better and better. I know maybe it's pass rush isn't quite as consistent generally for this team every game, but I think he's had a really, really good start to his Eagles career.
Absolutely. He first game, I remember we were ready to, tar and feather Gannon for not being able to make him go out there and have some proven results. And then it kind of added to it, You know, he started getting more aggressive towards the end of the game. Then we went into Minnesota, same thing. You know, he got a couple hits on it, but then he turned and went out like gangbusters after that. They just need to find a way in which he was comfortable with rushing the passer. And I can remember saying, oh, Gannon's got to figure out a way to put him out there and put him in a position. No, you just don't do that. You just make him – let him go out there. He's a defensive end. In all actuality, he is a defensive end. Mm-hmm. He rushed the passes from the defensive end position. You put him out there and just let him go, and he's going to give you production. You know, that's what you want. But, I mean, Hassan Reddick, man, is a breath of fresh air because now you're starting to see – and it's kind of crazy because he likes to rush from – the left defensive end, which is actually the right side of the the right side of the offensive line. And usually with this bunch of right-handed quarterbacks, that's the front side of a quarter. So it's actually harder to rush from those sides than it is from the left side because the quarterback can't see you coming.
Right. But
he has better results. Usually you put your best pass rusher on the left side, against the left tackle of the blind side of the quarterback, but they actually flip it in reverse. He feels better rushing from that side. So let him go hunt. Let him go eat. And he's shown some production with that. And with him being out there, you got to allocate resources to it. When your resources are going towards trying to block an outside linebacker / defensive end, that means your running back's not getting out because he has to stay there to chip or he's getting out there late. A tight end has to stay over there. He might not want the tight end to be there in protection. They're trying to get him out also. So, you know, he's shown now that, you know, just let him go, and he's becoming a factor on how offensive coordinators are blocking these plays.
Yeah, look, great point there, Barrett, on just the way he's being deployed, utilized. How about Kaiser White? He's done a really good job. You know where he stands out to me, too? Pass coverage. I see him breaking up a lot of passes, and there's a lot of versatility there with that guy, man.
He's so fast, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, not the biggest guy in the world, but he's lightning fast, and he can plug a gap in a hurry in terms of the run. He can close. He's got great closing speed for a linebacker.
Yes, he does.
I think he's one of the unsung heroes. You know, we talk about him sporadically, but I think he's one of the unsung heroes on that defense. You know, even when that defense is starting to get gouged, I think he's one of the unsung guys in terms of dropping back in cover. You know, TJ and Hassan Reddick are not cover guys. I mean, they are what they are. But, you know, Kazir is that linebacker that can drop back and cover. He can come up and stuff the run. You know, he's exactly what you need. He's like a kamikaze on that defense. You know, you just, you know, you forget about him and all of a sudden he just comes from out of nowhere and makes a play. You're like, oh yeah, I forgot he's on the field also. You know, what a great acquisition at a decent price to get him in here. Now, can they keep him? That remains to be seen. Do they want to keep him? That remains to be seen. But he is a perfect addition, perfect complement to the second level of that defense.
We're going to find out how confident they are in Kobe Dean, you know, with some of these decisions they have to make at linebacker. Whether you re-sign White, whether you give TJ an extension.
Yes.
We're going to find out. Right. You know, that's for sure.
White has done a lot, man, even in the run game, and he's showing up in the run game. I mean, his speed is allowing him to close in on plays, you know, that – we wouldn't have had, you know, the cutback lane has always been there against this defense, and that's been killing us for years. Well, look who showed up in that cutback lane here recently. Kazir White. He's been there to stop that cutback, you know, and it's really an asset that we have somebody like that that's fast enough that, number one, he can also spy these fast quarterbacks, and he can also play well enough that he can play outside but still get in and stop the run on the backside cutoffs.
All right, let's go with one more. I'm sorry, Doug.
I'm sorry. When you were talking about Hassan Reddick, you know, he plays well in spurts, and I'm not going to get what I want. You know, and Barrett has said consistency. Leave him where leave him where he is, and let him do what he does there. And when you have a pass rusher of that caliber, I look at the better pass rushers in the league, and have for years. And the one thing I've always loved about him is when you're playing chess, you move the pieces around. You don't keep one of your key pieces in the same spot all the time. You look at the 4.5 sacks he's had. He's got them against Arizona, Jacksonville, Washington, against two of the better, not great, but two of the better offensive lines in the game. Minnesota, Dallas, he has nothing. Detroit, not a great offensive line, but he had nothing. Decent offensive line, but had nothing against those games. I want to see him more consistent against the better competition. See, we're going to talk about him and sing his praises because the next 3 games they have coming up, they have Houston, they have Washington, and who's the other one they have? Pittsburgh. So he may pad his stats again, and we're going to sing his praises. But I can't measure him by those games. You know, you only play who's on your schedule. I get that. And you want him to show up, because if he doesn't show up, we're going to be ripping him for not showing up against Houston, Pittsburgh, you know, teams like that in Washington.
Fair enough.
But I need to see him a little bit more consistent against some better competition.
Yeah.
All of his sacks were compiled in 3 games. 3 games he had 0 goose eggs on the board. I don't like getting caught up too much in the sack total, because a lot of times the effectiveness is how much pressure are you putting on the quarterback. But in his case, because he is a premier pass rusher more than anything else, I want to see him earn his money a little bit more doing what he was brought here to do.
Okay. I want to throw one more into the newcomers, and we'll dive into the guys who have been here. Jordan Davis. Barrett, I'll start with you on this. It's been, you know, a climb here. You know, snaps growing, but limited early. Where's he at for you progression-wise after 6 games?
I just feel as though you just got to put him out there and just let him swim, man. He needs to be out there and get that production. I saw in Dallas, man, the first half, he played a lot in the first half. He balled, man. He stopped that run game. He clogged up the middle. I mean, I call him a bump on a log. The bump on a log doesn't go anywhere. It sits right there. Well, that's what he is, a bump on a log, which allows those linebackers to then go out there and play and run sideline to sideline, knowing that they're those offensive linemen can't get up on him because they're occupied and trying to move him out the way. When you double team him, that's taking another blocker off your linebackers that they don't have to deal with. And that's why you see some success from TJ Edwards. Yeah. You see some success from Kazir White. He's got to play more, and they only play him on that 50 front. And that's against guys that run the ball. That's why I thought he was going to have much more of a impact in the game against Dallas than he did in the second half, because they stopped running that. For some reason, they stopped putting him in. And I understand they went in with a little more 11 personnel, but then they turned around and put back in 12 personnel and you know 12 being 1 running back, 2 tight ends. You got to put them back in the game. You got to run more 50 front. You know, we call it a bear front or Navajo front, where you cover the center with the big fella, Davis, and then you have, you know, Fletcher Cox and those guys, you know, and Hargraves on the guards. That gives that basically just alleviates anybody getting up on the second level to block TJ Edwards. And he's good enough to make the play when you're not blocking him. So I just think, you know, when he's there, he's an impact player. We need more of him being out there. You know, I don't know whether it's, you know, it has anything to do with him being in shape or whatever. Forget that. You just got to go out there and make it happen. He can play his way into shape. As long as he's just sitting there in the middle of the defense, I don't care. He just needs to be more on the field, more time mixing it up in the middle of that defense.
All right. Good breakdown there. Let's go with some of the vets and what we're getting back here through the early return, 6 games. Fletcher Cox, D-Gun.
Hey, I knew you were going to ask me about Fletcher. My problem with Fletcher is, again,
don't be too honest, Derek. There you go.
You want me to be too honest? Do you want me to be more like you, Bear, in terms of being totally optimistic?
I just tell the truth. I tell the truth the way I feel it should be told.
And I don't tell the truth. What do I tell then? What do I tell?
All right, Mr. Half Full.
You know, for the money you're paying at Fletcher Cox, and especially we talked about him allegedly having that proverbial chip on his shoulder because it could be his last year in Philadelphia. I think he's been okay. I don't think he's been as consistent as I've wanted him to be. You know, $14 million. You've been a proven vet. You've been a Pro Bowler. It's funny how, and the theme has been when him and Hargrave are in there is when his team starts to get gouged in the running game. You bring Jordan Davis in, all of a sudden that stops.
Oh, did I say that?
Okay, that stops. Now I've heard people say, well, Fletcher's having a great year. No, he's not. No, he's not. No, you know, you want me to be honest, Mr. Brooks? I'm trying to be honest.
I never said he was. I never said he's having a great year.
No, I think he's having an okay year.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he's having a great year. I need to see. One of his biggest claims of fame, especially when he was at that Pro Bowl level, was consistently collapsing the interior of an offensive line. I don't see that. I do not see that. I do not see him stuffing the run the way he did just a few years ago. I just think it's glaring when you have 2 proven guys like Hargrave and Cox in there, that the run game gets better when you bring the rookie in. See, that's a telling tale to me. You don't think offensive coordinators identify that? When Davis is not in there, we can do certain things?
Yeah.
Well, they showed it against Dallas.
Thank you.
You saw that. You saw
Thank
that
you.
against Dallas.
You know. So
what does Seth have to say about that?
about what?
About Davis and his lack of
that Davis needs to be playing more. That he
Okay.
needs to be playing more, you know, and he's not. Now, for the first half of the week, and I know we're on Fletcher Cox, but Davis played he was averaging like 22% of the snaps.
Right.
All of a sudden it elevated to 42%. Okay. And I expected to go up even a little bit more. It may get up to 50%. If this theme continues where they get gouged in the running game, I can see him, and it's identified that, you know, we put when we put that mobile home in there at the D tackle spot, a lot of that stuff.
I love that, the mobile home.
You put the mobile home in there, a lot of that stuff stops.
Yes, it does.
See, so that's why I'm on Fletcher Cox.
Okay. Barrett, well, I'm sensing a little more optimistic on what you've gotten from Fletcher thus far.
You know, Fletcher, man, he's no longer that, you know, top 3 defensive tackle in the league. You know what I'm saying? But he's still adequate at being a guy that can pressure, especially one-on-one. You know, last year, one-on-one, I saw him get blocked a lot. But this year, one-on-one blocks, he's not getting blocked. You know what I'm saying? No. He is getting up the field. He's getting pressure. I believe he has a lot more in the tank. I think a lot more he can do. But they're playing him an awful lot for a team that, you know, we thought was not going to play those guys as much as they were. I thought we were going to alternate them a little more than they have been. I haven't seen Williams play as much as I thought he was going to play. In fact, I see Marlon Tuipulotu, whatever his name is.
Yeah, that.
Whatever his name
what
is.
He said. Yeah.
I've seen him play when I don't think that he – I didn't think he should have the reps that he has been in there.
Right.
I'm glad you thought that's funny.
That was good.
That was just off the dome. I don't know his name for real.
This show is off the charts today.
Yeah, what is going on, man?
How do you pronounce that last name?
I'll let Rob do it.
You pronounce it very carefully.
Tuipulotu. I think that's what his name is.
Tuipulotu. Tuipulotu. Yeah. Tuipulotu. Tuipulotu.
My man said
he's had one play. He's had one good play. One good play, and that was against Detroit, which he calls that interception.
Yeah.
But other than that, you know, I didn't think that, you know, he should get as many reps as he has been. I think the big fella should be getting those reps, you know, take some of his reps away. But I know that Fletcher's playing a lot, you know. Han Hargraves is playing an awful lot, and I thought they were going to try to put him in there more.
You know why?
I don't know why.
Yeah, Brett, 14 million.
I mean,
you got 27 million locked up between those two. You're going to sit them? Are you going to sit them?
Heck no, you can't sit them.
That's what I'm saying. You got 27 million reasons why.
I thought they wanted to win, man. I thought they wanted to make sure that they were going to be able to rush the pass consistent. What we had in 2017 was a rotation that was nasty. We rotated that NASCAR front like, you know what I'm saying, like every three or four plays. They didn't care who was out there. They were just alternating guys, and those guys were having production. They need to do the same thing now. You know, you're going to use all of Hargraves up and all of Fletcher Cox up before we even get to where the money downs are coming. And that's towards the end of the season when we're playing against the Giants. We're playing against the Cowboys again.
Right.
You know, that's when we're really going to need them. You know what I'm saying? So cut their reps down, get the big fella in there a little bit, play Williams a little more. I mean, did they lose faith in those guys? That's what I'm trying to understand. I mean, I don't know how much more. I mean, do you guys know what Williams, his play percentage is?
I don't think it's a ton. I don't think it's a ton.
Hold up.
And I thought he was pretty good, man.
Yeah, I like Milton Williams.
Right.
You know, for sure. Yeah.
But I'm just saying, I think he's playing a lot for a guy that.
That's fair, and that's fair. And I think as the season goes on, and they feel like he's better conditioned, we're going to get more Jordan Davis, you know, as we go. And that's that would certainly be my hope. That's for sure.
Hey, Barrett, to answer your question, wow. Let me make sure I got the right year. Okay, 2022. You're gonna be shocked, Barrett, when I tell you this one.
What's that?
Milton Williams has played. Oh, that's special teams. 37.44% of the snaps.
Wow.
And how does that compare to, say, Jordan Davis and Fletcher?
Jordan Davis has played Jordan Davis has played 34.62% of the snaps.
Okay.
Fletcher has played 63.59%.
Hargrave.
Why am I not seeing his name here? Hargrave, where is he? Hargrave has played 62.56% of the snaps.
So do you see the glaring? I mean, you could drop that down about 50% of the snaps and let those young guys get to about 50%.
Yeah,
and I bet you'll get more production out of those guys in the interior.
Right, but like I said,
what about Marlon? What about Marlon Tuipulotu?
You got to get a jersey. You got to get a jersey, I think.
Right.
He has played what? Interesting. He's played 34.10%.
So right there with Jordan Davis.
Right there with Jordan Davis.
Right, Jordan Davis and Milton Williams.
And Milton. He's played as much as they have played.
Exactly. So that's what I'm saying, man. I don't understand why we don't mix them in a little more, man. I know it's a lot of money those guys are making, but give those younger guys a little more production.
Straight cash, homie.
I know, man. I know, but
yeah.
I mean, you just need those guys' production out there so you can not. It's almost we gotta Embiid them. Let's Embiid them. We don't like to
Embiid them.
Yeah, we gotta Embiid them. We gotta take them off the court. We can't have them playing, 30 minutes a game. We gotta Embiid them. Give them about 20 minutes a game.
All right, let's get a timeout. We're going to come back. A couple things that we're going to look at the NFL trade deadline, which is quickly approaching November 1st. Tom Brady makes an apology. We'll dig into some other odds and ends. We'll get into tonight's game, and we're going to do our AFC power rankings. So you don't want to go anywhere. Barrett.
Wait. AFC power rankings or NFL power rankings?
AFC.
Oh,
NFL's tomorrow.
I got to scramble. I thought it was NFL. My bad.
It's okay.
Already done. See that? Already done.
AFC power rankings. Wow.
AFC.
Okay.
Yes. All right. So we'll do all that. We get back. Don't go anywhere. Derek Barrett, Rob, Sports Take, JAKIB Sports YouTube Network.
Go to get your game on. Go for the beers. Go for the cheers. Go for the hit and the hits. Go for the stakes and the stakes. Go to get your parlay on. Go to get your party on. Go for the scene. Go for the screens. Go for the gallery. Go for the win. Go to Ocean. Visit theoceanac.com to plan your visit.
Welcome to Pond Lee Hockey. We've helped over 100,000 injured and disabled workers obtain benefits, as well as some of the biggest settlements in the state. If you've been injured at work, give Pond Lee Hockey a call.
It's a fall car fest, and Jeff D'Ambrosio, Destination Downingtown, says, yes, you can. Jeff says, yes, you can choose from over 1,000 vehicles in stock with no wait. Yes, you can still get low prices, leases, and big discounts. Yes, you can still get low interest financing. And Jeff always says, yes, you can have a real deal buying experience without the hassle. When the other dealers say, no, you can't, Jeff says, yes, you can. Jeff D'Ambrosio, Destination Downingtown. Nobody treats you better. Jeep Adventure Days.
everybody? How we doing on this Thursday? I am Rob Ellis along with my friends Derek Gunn, Barrett Brooks. All right, guys. So mentioned this yesterday, NFL talk here. Mentioned this yesterday, Derek, you actually sent us this in one of our group texts, but Tom Brady on his podcast with Jim Gray essentially compared, playing in an NFL season to being deployed in the military. Absolute poor taste. Okay. So
definitely,
before he met with the media today, to his credit, before everything got started, said, I want to take a second to mention something. He said, before we start, can I say one thing? Earlier this week, I made a statement about playing football and the military. It was a poor choice of words. I apologize. And a reporter asked him to kind of, expand on that. He said, quote, to be honest, I don't really want to expand on it too much. I have a tremendous amount of gratitude to everyone who served. In the end, we play a game and the military is defending our country. It's two different things. I shouldn't have made the comparison. Look, I ripped him yesterday.
Perfect.
Yeah, I ripped him yesterday. I'll give him props for addressing it and owning up to it. So,
and I like the fact that he said, I don't want to get into it, because you know what that does? It just opens a more floodgate. But unfortunately, because of the society we live in today and the social media world we live in today, people are not going to let it go. He worded it perfectly. First of all, while we all recognize him as the GOAT, people hate him because he played for the evil empire, and we see him with the antics on the sidelines, thanks to 26 cameras covering NFL games now, and people perceive him to be arrogant. Maybe he is. I don't know the man. I never met the man other than at a podium. So I'm not going to judge the man. But the fact that he thought about this. Somebody got in his ear, and when cooler heads prevailed, obviously he spoke out of frustration on Monday. You have to take into consideration what's going on in his personal life. The team's not winning. He's not playing Tom Brady football right now. Emotions come out. It happens. Unfortunately, 20 years ago would have been water under the dam after one day. Unfortunately, the social media world we live in today will keep that fire stoked for a long time. But he handled it perfectly. From my perspective, thank you. Move on. From my perspective, all is forgiven. You picked a bad choice of words, forgiven.
Well said. Look, I can't add much to that. I give him credit for addressing it, and I think he, it was heartfelt. So cool. Okay. Wash your hands of it. Barrett, I know this is something that we were kind of kicking around a little bit off camera, but we're not all that far away. I mean, today is the 20th, so we're basically 12 days away from the NFL trade deadline. Now, we don't always see monster moves in the sport of football. Really, trade deadlines in general have kind of aren't what they used to be in any of the sports. But you see the Eagles making a move here, Barrett? Do you see any big names going just to other addresses in general around the league?
It's funny, man, because everybody's looking at the Panthers because it's been a fire. It's going to be a fire sale.
Yeah,
because new coach coming in. What they want is assets. They want to make sure that they get some draft capital coming in. So the next coach that does come in won't be behind the buck as much as he is. Because he's going to have to start from scratch. Mm-hmm. He's definitely going to have to start from scratch. So I mean, everybody's talking about, well, what if we went and got this, or when you got that? What's the major need that this team needs right now? And where would you go with as far as the need?
Returner might be an oversimplification, but I think they need a returner. I think they may need another pass rusher, frankly.
Well, and that's kind of the way in which we've got to approach this. I mean, what's out there right now as far as a return guy that they can trade assets for, and what assets would you trade for it? I mean. When I look at the Carolina Panther roster, I look at them going out and get a Brian Burns, a defensive end, really good pass rusher, played with Hassan Reddick last year, come in, but is a first rounder too much for him? He got drafted in the first round. I think he was out of Florida State or something like that.
Yep.
He's been averaging the last 3 years just under 10 sacks a game. I think he's about 9.5 a year. Is he worth a first rounder? Somebody we know can rush the passer, But he's going to be looking for a new deal. So are you willing to give up a first rounder and bring him in with a new deal, especially now that they're going to more than likely play Jalen Hurts before the year's over with?
You got a lot invested money wise in that defensive line.
Absolutely.
You know, and you're going to give up assets to bring this guy in and then have to extend him. I don't see it happening. I don't see anything major happening either way. I wouldn't give a lot up for a returner either, quite frankly. I think they may make a move. Howie's been known to do that. Jay Ajayi, you know, in the 17 season stands out, but I don't think it's going to be anything monster. I don't think Brian Burns is coming here.
Well, I mean,
so all right, so don't fix it.
Well, I mean, what I'm saying is this. You look at Carolina again. Right now, Baker Mayfield is hurt.
Yep.
They're going to this game with P.J. Walker.
Mm-hmm.
Would you trade a Garner Minshew for him?
What a trade.
Probably a later round pick.
I can't take that risk, Barrett. I mean, think about the way it went last year. You lost Jalen for a couple games, and I think you won both.
Yep.
I can't risk that with Reed Sinnett or whoever's on the practice squad.
Right.
It's Ian Booker.
Ian Book.
Ian Book. Ian Book. I'm sorry.
No, thanks. I'd rather go with
Notre Dame.
I think he's
I'm
more
not making
important.
that move. Yeah.
No, I need a real insurance policy for a guy who's played real games.
Well, although what they're going through right now.
Although a kid named Zappy's 2-0 right now. So
yeah.
Can you believe that?
Well,
but I'm not making that move though.
I don't know, man. I would think about it for a Brian, Brian Burns.
What if what if, my goodness, heaven forbid, if somehow Jalen went down, are you going to turn that team over to Ian Booker?
Ian Book,
especially with the way this team is rolling right now.
Oh,
yeah, I'm not.
At least Minshew can run the offense.
Yeah.
I
think Minshew is a good stopgap. I don't think he's any long-term answer, but I think he's okay.
This is the last year in his deal.
Games?
Yeah.
This is the last year in his deal. And the probability of him signing back here is slim to none.
No, you're right. But you're right, Barrett. But I'm looking to just get through this year. I think they have legitimate Super Bowl aspirations. I need a quality backup.
Exactly. You have to. With the way this machine is rolling right now, coupled with the week schedule they have, I don't want anything that causes us to trip up any way, shape, or form down the stretch. Especially, you control home field advantage right now. You want to make sure you have everything you need to continue that, even when you start losing players. We know they have the depth and the versatility on the offensive and the defensive line. We know that they have it in the running back position. We know they have it at the wide receiver position. The big question mark is the quarterback. You don't want to have significant drop-off from that first quarterback. Now, there is a drop-off in overall talent, but we know that Minshew can run this offense. He can scramble if he has to. He can make things happen. He's not Zappy, whatever the heck his name is.
Bailey Zappy.
Zappy, or whatever his name is.
He's played well, the Zapster.
Yes, he has. He's 2-0. That's what I'm saying. But do you want to run that risk?
Yeah.
Who's the practice squad QB for the Eagles? Booker? Ian Book?
Ian Book, yeah.
Yeah, you know what? Throw the book at him. That's what I said.
All right, well, that answers that.
Where he is.
A couple other things. Hollywood Brown out at least a month, according to Cliff Kingsbury, and they play tonight. So let's dig into that game tonight, guys. We have the Saints and the Cardinals. Cardinals are -2.5 last I checked. Andy Dalton will get the nod for the Saints in this one. Both teams need it bad, and the Cardinals get DeAndre Hopkins back.
Yep.
Clearly, that's a big addition.
Huge.
They made the trade to get Robbie Anderson. We'll see, how quickly he can acclimate to this thing. But the Cardinals are 2-4. They're in last place. They're behind the Seahawks. They're in last place in the West. The Saints right now, same thing. 2-4. They're not in last because the Panthers are 1-5, but they're in third place. Both. I mean, one more loss, and you could almost. I think they're both in big trouble anyway. But you could pretty much kiss it goodbye. They lose this one.
They're playing this one in Arizona.
Yes.
That's bad for Saints, especially with no Jarvis Landry, no Michael Thomas, no Marshawn Lattimore, and you have DeAndre Hopkins, who's been chomping at the bit. And I just saw somewhere on Twitter he put out some hyper video today.
Yeah,
I don't know what that means.
Dude, you were suspended for PEDs. I don't think you do the comeback tour.
Yeah, whatever that is. But I think Robbie Anderson doesn't know the offense, but they'll utilize his speed in some way, shape, or form. You have Robbie Anderson and DeAndre Hopkins that help Kyler Murray tonight. Saints are in trouble in this game tonight. Saints are in trouble.
It does feel like an Arizona game.
Well,
I mean,
they need to, because it's
a low line, by the way.
Well, it's because both teams suck. That's why. So when you look at that, both teams have good defenses also.
Mm-hmm.
Especially, the Saints defense. But they have a lot of people that's out, like Marshawn Lattimore's out.
Mm-hmm.
I think they have a starting linebacker that's out also. So, you know what, man? If you really look back, when the schedule came out, we looked at this game as being a good game. Remember we did that?
For sure.
We did.
We went through as far as I can remember us saying that, man, this is gonna be a really good game on Thursday night when we talked about the schedule going into this summer, going into the season. And look at it now. Wow.
Well, think about if you're the networks and you're planning out the year before it starts. Think about how many times just through 6 weeks now we've seen Russell Wilson in prime time because you thought they were going to be good, because you thought he was going to go there and crush. And that team is awful to watch. I mean, Denver's like watching paint dry. But they didn't know that. I can't kill the executives for wanting him on primetime games. But it's just the way it's worked out. This is another one of those games. You thought this was going to be, two good teams, not great, but two good teams.
Right.
Thursday night. And I'll tell you, careful what you wish for if you're Al Michaels. You could have stayed with Sunday Night Football. You jumped over to Prime for these Thursday night games. And, man, there have been just turds left and right here with these matchups.
Al Michaels, they were basically forcing out.
Yeah, because
to make way for Tirico.
Yeah.
So they threw him a bone by basically sending him to Amazon. You look at the Saints. Not only is Thomas and Landry out, but their starting tight end Adam Troutman is out, and their Pro Bowl left guard Andrews Pete is out. So this offense is hurt right now. And then on defense, no Lattimore tonight. And they've got other guys nicked up that are playing. They still have Cameron Jordan and Marcus Davenport. So that's going to be interesting to see how they try to corral Kyler Murray in this game tonight. But Saints offense is man, I'm telling you what, they're the geriatric unit right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're right about that. And I know both of you guys are thrilled. Tonight, Taylor Swift is going to drop a trailer for her new album Midnights during the game.
Taylor Swift. What?
Taylor Swiftie. You're a Swiftie, aren't you?
Yeah, I'll be turning away at that point. I won't be watching.
Swiftie. I mean, nothing says Taylor Swift like Al Michaels, setting her up for the debut of her new album that's dropping. Yes,
I won't be listening to that. No,
you're not going to the concert once she starts touring again. Come on, there.
Nope, not gonna happen.
All right. I thought she was one of your favorite artists.
Next question.
Okay. Tua says he lost consciousness. I don't think anybody's surprised by this. After he got hit in that game against Cincinnati, there's a chance, I guess, that he may play this week, right? I mean, that's the hope.
Yeah, that's the hope.
Able to come back. That was week 4 when he went down. He was hospitalized. Of course, he flew back with the team, but we all know how badly that looked. And the NFL has now tweaked its policy on concussions and head injuries. The Bucs offensive line, in particular, Robert Hainsey, who's the center, is thrilled that Tom Brady's chewing them out, thinks they deserve it. Doesn't have an issue with that. That just says to me it's Tom Brady, and we got to take it.
Absolutely. I mean, he did the same thing in New England for years. How many times did the cameras catch him chewing out his offensive line in New England?
Exactly.
When you're Tom Brady, you see, if that's a Jacoby, Brissett, if that's a Baker Mayfield, that doesn't play well.
Yeah, it's a problem.
But because if it's Brady, Aaron Rodgers, Russell Wilson, they can get away with that stuff, and rightfully so, because they're highly decorated quarterbacks.
Yeah, I agree with you. Taylor Heineke will get the nod for Washington with Wentz out. He feels confident. He feels like he learned from last year when he had opportunities and thinks he'll be that much better. I am going to be interested to see how their offense moves the ball with him and how different it looks. I think he's going to run into some of the same problems Wentz has. I don't think their offensive line is good necessarily. So I think that obviously impacts him at the quarterback position.
Right.
And the problem he faces is, Washington's going to be taking on a Green Bay team that's lost 2 in a row. And I know the game's in Washington, but I don't think that's a great spot for the Commanders.
I think Washington's offense is going to play better with him under center.
Absolutely.
To be honest.
I think so also.
I think Carson Wentz better start getting his hunting and fishing camp together for life after football.
Bro, he's been doing that.
If Heineke plays well in this game, I don't think Carson's getting his job back. To be honest with you,
I agree with you. I told you guys I don't think he's long for the NFL. So I absolutely believe that. And if he plays well, I guess what's Wentz timetable, like 6 weeks? So we're probably
4 to 6 weeks. Yeah.
All right. So we're looking at like week 12-ish. If Washington's still in contention, are they going to force feed Wentz back in there?
Nope.
Exactly. I told you guys,
so.
if I'm on the medical staff of Washington, if they start winning and get back in the conversation of playoffs, hey, Carson, I know we told you 6 weeks, man, but we just did an X-ray, and that fracture is not healing properly to our satisfaction. Yep. You may need an additional 2 weeks before you come back.
Absolutely.
I let him sit. I let his butt sit. If Washington can rally around Heineke, Carson Wentz is an afterthought for the rest of this season.
I think you're right. I think you're absolutely right on that. All right, let's do a little AFC power rankings. Yes, AFC power rankings. All right, I did 10. We didn't have to do 10. I don't know. I just did 10 because
you have nothing else to do.
Felt like it. Yes. I'll work my way up. You guys tell me how crazy I am with this. I have the Dolphins at 10. I have the Patriots at 9. I have the Colts at 8. I have the Bengals at 7. I have the Titans at 6. I have the Ravens at 5. Jets at 4. Chargers at 3. Chiefs at 2. Bills at 1. So I go Bills, Chiefs, Chargers, Jets, Ravens, Titans, Bengals, Colts, Patriots, Dolphins.
Wow.
I can't argue with that list. I did 5, but I can't argue with that list.
See, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I you know what? This is about. I go Colts at 10, and then I think I would flip flop the Patriots and the Dolphins because I have Patriots next and then the Dolphins because both quarterbacks are. I don't even know who these guys are. You know what I'm saying? I mean, Skylar Thomas is he starting? Who's starting this game?
Tua, I think.
Tua is starting this game. Tua. So then I got to go Colts, Patriots, Dolphins. Then I go Titans. Then I go Bengals, Ravens, and you said the same thing, Jets and Chargers, but I might flip flop them, and it's just the only reason why the Chargers are going to go before them is the quarterback position. The debonair, suave quarterback the Jets have. He's just so young that and has just now starting to get a sense of who he is as an NFL quarterback. That I got to go with the guy that's been there for the longest. So I'm gonna go Chargers, then I go Chiefs, and then I go Bills.
Okay.
Did you just call Zach Wilson debonair?
The debonair, yes.
The debonair,
the Mama Slayer.
Oh, here we go.
Create baby mama drama in all these households.
Oh boy, here it comes.
The Mama Slayer.
Now I'm just waiting for the chat. The chat room's about to explode.
The Mama Slayer.
Mama Slayer.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, good old Zach. I can't wait to get an update on where things are with him. What he's up to off the field these days. How about you, Gunner?
All right, I only did 5 because I misunderstood when we had our meeting. I thought we were doing the NFL power rankings.
That's okay.
So I only did 5 in the AFC. And the top 5 for me were easy. I mean, correction, the top 4 were easy. Number 5 was difficult because you have 6 teams at 3-3 in the AFC. But I came to the conclusion I'm picking Cincinnati as my number 5.
Wow.
I have the Chargers at 4, Jets at 3, Kansas City, and Buffalo.
Who would have thought? Like we have the Jets in the top 5.
Yes, the Jets.
But you know why? Look, because they're playing really good defense. They have a running game. They're not asking Wilson to do too much.
No,
exactly.
No.
They're one of the really interesting teams to me as we march forward here. I mean, they have coming up. They're at Denver on Sunday. Actually, it's not an easy schedule. We'll see if Denver gets it together, but they're at Denver. They have New England at home, Buffalo at home, bye week at New England. They get New England twice in 3 weeks.
Jeez. Their first 4 draft picks have been huge for them this year. Joe Douglas hit a grand slam with his first 4 picks this year in the draft. And it's shown. And then Robert Saleh, that defense is now playing Robert Saleh football.
Yep.
And that has been huge. And you're right, Rob. It's funny to sit here and to think 6 weeks into this season, we're talking about the Jets as one of the top 5 teams in the AFC.
It's one of the great things about the sports in the NFL.
Yes.
You just never know. Yeah, you never know.
Yes.
And some of the teams that have already almost buried themselves too.
Absolutely.
You know? I mean, you think about it, like you have the Jets, great story, exciting, etc. There's not a lot of other great stories in the AFC. Most of them are what the heck happened. Raiders 1-4, Broncos 2-4, Pittsburgh 2-4.
Yep.
Cleveland, I'm not shocked because of all the Watson drama, but whatever.
Raiders.
Yeah, right, exactly.
I'm ready to write the Raiders eulogy already.
Bro, I
with all that talent they have,
I cannot believe I was so wrong on that.
Oh my goodness!
Look at that.
I cannot believe I was so wrong on that.
Barrett, they haven't been able to close games. They're terrible in close games. The Ravens are terrible in close games.
Yeah,
they've
been brutal.
Up.
Yeah, they've been brutal. Barrett, Captain Tuna is all over you today, man.
Damn.
Look at this, D Gun. Should Barrett be in my top 5 fishing team power rankings?
Ouch.
I used to be, man. I used to be up there.
Wow.
Yo, I tell you what, man. Ever since I started that new show and my face was on a billboard as you went over the bridge, it scared so many people, man. People almost getting in car wrecks and everything going to the bridge when they saw my face up there for Birds Huddle.
That's understandable.
And he's going over the bridge, and he and his wife, Tam is that's my girl there. We're like this. I'm her chocolate drop. Yeah.
Okay. All right. This show just got
We're like
R-rated.
this, bro. We're like this. And he sees it. He literally makes Tam go back over the bridge. They come back over, and they have to repay the $5 just so they can time right, just so they can see my face and take a picture.
Oh my God.
To bust my chops. You know what I'm saying? While they're going over the bridge.
I don't want to see your face that much.
My God. Oh boy. Next time when you're driving past there, Barrett, tomorrow or tonight, whatever, take a picture. I want to see it. I
don't know if it's not there anymore. Now it's Jaws' picture.
Okay.
It's Jaws' picture now.
They put Jaws up there, man. Oh,
yeah. How
you got bumped for Jaws?
You got bumped already for the new guy, man.
You know how it is, man. It's what have you done for me lately?
Wow,
yeah, exactly right.
What have you done for me lately?
We come back, guys. The Sixers made a game night change in-house, which has a lot of people talking. So we'll discuss that. I mentioned the ALCS last night. Flyers played, the Union playing tonight, some debuts in the NFL, some big-time debuts. Got some good birthdays as well. We got a lot to dig into when we come back, so you don't want to go anywhere. Barrett Brooks, Derek Gunn, Rob Ellis. We are Sports Take, JAKIB Sports YouTube Network.
It's a fall car fest, and Jeff D'Ambrosio, Destination Downingtown, says, yes, you can. Jeff says, yes, you can choose from over 1,000 vehicles in stock with no wait. Yes, you can still get low prices, leases, and big discounts. Yes, you can still get low interest financing. And Jeff always says, yes, you can have a real deal buying experience without the hassle. When the other dealers say, no, you can't, Jeff says, yes, you can. Jeff D'Ambrosio, Destination Downingtown. Nobody treats you better. Jeep Adventure Days.
the greatest fans on earth. It's a bold statement, but would you expect anything less from Philadelphia? 58 years of heartache creates a toughness, a grit, a resolve not found in most. Sure, our prayers were answered, but now that we've had a taste, we're looking for more. Pondley Hockey, official partner of the Philadelphia Eagles.
The faces you know, the team you trust. The Delaware Valley's leading news program, Action News.
Go for the beers, go for the cheers, go for the hit and the hits, go for the scene, go for the screens, go for the gallery, go for the win, go to Ocean.
Hey, welcome back, everybody. Final segment of the show. Thanks for hanging with us today. Sports Take, JAKIB Sports YouTube Network. Hey, reminder, tomorrow at 1 p.m., we will have Phillies radio color analyst Larry Anderson. So looking forward to talking to LA tomorrow. Get us set, prime it, if you will. Prime us up for Game 3 of the NLCS between the Phillies and the Padres. All right. I know you guys have been to Sixers games. I know you watch Sixers games. And we know what happens when especially the opposing team is on the free throw line and they miss the first one.
Yep.
Everybody gets up, man. It's like a whole thing in the building, right? Because they know if he misses the second one, if you have a ticket stub, you get a free, or else you got a free Frosty from Wendy's, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that was a big attraction. Guy would hold up the Frosty thing behind the backboard, trying to throw everybody off. Well, guess what? No more Frosties. However,
What? Come on, man.
Yes. But you have the brickin' for chicken.
The what?
if there's 2 free throws missed now, you will get free chicken nuggets at chicken tenders, whatever they're called, at Chick-fil-A.
I don't want no dang chicken nuggets.
Chicken tenders, whatever.
I don't know chicken nuggets, chicken tenders. I'm not a big Chick-fil-A person anyway. I don't want
You want
that.
Frosties?
I want that Frosty, man. Man, if I was a season ticket holder, give me my money back.
You're bummed. You don't want tickets anymore. You're done with the team.
I'm done with it. Give me my dang money back.
Yes.
What?
Well,
Chicken nuggets, man? You can get chicken nuggets anywhere. You can't just get a Frosty anywhere.
I'm not a huge Chick-fil-A guy. Not my kids.
Me either.
Love Chick-fil-A.
I know, man.
My wife and kids love Chick-fil-A.
Same. It's wild how much they love it.
I like Popeye's chicken better.
Like we have stock in Chick-fil-A is how much they love it. It doesn't move the needle that much for me, to be honest with you. So if I have my druthers, I'm Frosty guy.
Thank you.
Over chicken brickin' chicken. Brickin' for a chicken, whatever it's called.
For a chicken.
Where are you at, Barrett?
It's a great slogan.
This is really hard hitting stuff.
Yeah,
bro, I can't deal with Chick-fil-A, man. I'm all Chick-fil-A'd out, bro. I mean, every time you go on like a trip, or when I do my games out, they got Chick-fil-A's like for every meal, man. I'm like, come on, I'm just Chick-fil-A'd out, bro.
Yes.
And plus, you got to wait in them long lines at Chick-fil-A.
Yeah, man.
It's not worth it, man.
Although I will say this though, my wife got me hooked on the Chick-fil-A breakfast sandwich. Now that thing's pretty good.
Okay.
But outside of that, I've never understood this obsession with Chick-fil-A. And, I'm not knocking Chick-fil-A. I don't want any lawsuits, but I'm just saying, I don't get it. The chicken to me is always dry.
Yeah.
And you got to never put a pickle on my dang chicken. Don't put no pickle on my chicken.
What?
How dare you?
We got to fight.
Those worlds shouldn't collide. The chicken
man,
pickle world.
No.
I got you.
That's like Rob putting milk with Cheerios, man. Come on.
I agree. I'm with you. Listen, I am a separatist when it comes to food. You guys know that. I don't like it touching. I don't
go that far.
We don't need to get into that. Yes.
No, don't go that far. It's all going to the same place,
Yes, I know. yes. It's all coming out the same place too.
I didn't want to go there.
I had to go there. See, I took it to that.
When I say flush it, you guys just go, you just touch, Barrett.
We did it. It was me.
All I said was it goes to the same place. He had to take it to the next level.
I took it into the gutter or the toilet, if you will. Yes. Flyers played last night, guys. They lost to the Panthers' first loss of the season, 4-3. hard to get really worked up about them. They've done a nice job so far, man. You know, it's a good start. 3-1.
They almost did it again. They almost came from behind again
With another good team.
Yes.
That's another freaking really good team.
You, man.
Quality team.
You played Tampa and Florida in back-to-back games.
Yeah.
And you split.
Yeah.
Hey, I'd take that, pat yourself on the back and keep rolling.
Yeah. 100%.
Keep rolling, bro.
100%.
Keep rolling.
And you got Tampa again tomorrow night?
I know, right?
Jeez.
Yeah, we were talking about this earlier. So tomorrow down in the sports complex area, you have the Phillies and the Padres game 3. You also have Temple playing at the Link.
Yep.
On Sunday. It's nice because you got some time in between, but you have the Phillies at 2:37, I think it is, and you have the Flyers on Sunday night down there at Wells Fargo. So it'll be a busy couple days down there, for sure.
Worlds collide.
Yeah,
man.
barely dodging traffic left and right.
Wait, Barrett, you don't have to go in this Sunday.
Actually, you're good on Sunday,
You're good
right?
on this Sunday.
Nothing
right?
on Sunday, bro.
Hey,
it's a bye week.
Hey, go ahead, Barrett. Go ahead, do it, Barrett.
Bye week, man.
Yeah. So you don't have to catch some crazy flight back. You can just chill getting back from
Bro,
where's the game at? Is it at Florida or ECU? Where is it?
It's at ECU.
Okay. I've never been to that.
Back.
How's that campus? I've never been to that campus.
Beautiful
ECU.
campus, man. Beautiful, man. It's like 72, 73 degrees down there right now. Can't wait, man. I just looked it up a few minutes ago.
Unless your employer unexpectedly wants you to come in and shoot some promo stuff.
That's happened before, bro. That's happened before.
Good point.
That has happened before.
Good point.
Bro, I'll get a call like Barrett. We really would like you, instead of saying get your ass down here, but we really would like you to do this, and that. Like, here we go.
Yep. And you know what that means.
Oh man.
It's like
this is
like Office Space, and the boss walks. We're gonna need you to go ahead and come in on Saturday.
Right. What commercial is that?
That was Office Space. If you guys haven't seen that,
I haven't seen that.
Trust me when I tell you, watch it. It is hilarious.
Who's in it? Who's in it?
Ron Livingston is the lead guy who's very good in it. Gary Cole plays his boss, who's excellent in everything. Jennifer Aniston's in it. You have to watch it. I'm telling you guys, it is freaking hilarious. Okay. If you're ever bored, just do it. Just jump in. All right. Union playing tonight, playoffs, taking on FC Cincinnati at 8:00. Union trying to take home the title. They had a great regular season.
I think this is their first playoff game.
Yeah,
I believe so.
Yeah. I give them, that organization, a lot of credit. That club, they have really built something sustainable, man. Like, they're good now. Like, they're legit every year, and they just keep kind of cracking it out. They're doing a real good job. Jim Curtin's doing a really good job coaching that team, and they're a good team. They're a good team. Fun place to watch a game too, if you ever get a chance to get down there. Subaru Park in Chester.
Okay.
All right. So Paulo Banchero played last night, the first overall pick out of Duke for the Magic. How about this debut? 27, 9, and 5 in his first NBA game.
Jeez.
My man came and delivered. Yes.
Who did they play?
They played Detroit, and by the way, the Magic had 3 guys under 21 or 21 or under with 20 plus points.
It tells me in a couple of years they're going to be a force again.
Yep. They're going to be good. They're going to be good. They just need to stay healthy.
27 in his debut.
Yeah. Heck of a debut. And some people question whether he should have been taken that high, but
Do you have the box score pulled up?
I can have it pulled up. Yeah. Go ahead.
How many shots did he take? Because compared to everybody else.
All right. So Banchero, here we go. I have it right here. All right. Banchero last night, 11 of 18.
Okay. 18
he shot. Yeah, he shot 6 more. He had 6 more field goal attempts than anybody else. The most anybody else had was 12.
So he's been told, hey, look here, man. We're about as bottom as you can get. You shoot your lights out, man. We want you to we just want you to be the next Larry Bird. Just shoot your lights out.
Just go.
The good thing is that's very efficient. 11 of 18. That's good shooting.
That's for a debut. That's nerves of steel.
Yeah, and got to the free throw line 7 times and hit 5. 9 rebounds, 5 assists. He had 2 blocks. He contributed in a lot of different ways. Played very well. Good for him, man. Good for him. Really solid game. And he's good. He's got a lot of versatility to his game. I like to point this out every time because I am a pickleball aficionado and fan. Kevin Durant has now bought a pickleball team.
Now he's in on it too?
They're all in. They know where it's going, fellas.
So who did I mention a couple of weeks ago? LeBron. I mentioned two other people.
Kim
Who were the other two? Kim Clijsters. Was one more.
The LeBron's agent, Paul.
No, it was another athlete. No, it was another athlete I brought. It was Kim Clijsters. I brought up Kim Clijsters and one other athlete that has jumped on with LeBron. And who did you just say is also jumping in on it?
Rich Paul.
Kevin Durant?
And Kevin Durant. Yep.
Rob may have to come out of retirement, man. Get those hamstrings loosened up, man.
I already play. I'm in. I'm in.
Just saying.
Let me see. Okay, LeBron, Maverick Carter, Draymond Green, Kevin Love, Tom Brady, Kim Clijsters, Drew Brees, James Blake. Yes. You guys better start listening to me. It's
pickleball.
Legit. It is real, man. It is real.
Does it have a network TV contract yet?
ESPN 3, I think, shows.
There you go. I thought you were going to tell Telemundo or somebody.
No.
What's wrong with Telemundo, man?
There's nothing wrong with Telemundo.
Okay, then I'm about to say, bro.
But don't be starting any controversy, man. I got to deal with people, man. You know what I'm saying?
I hear you.
Hey, look.
All right, let's do some birthdays, and then we'll jump it back to some of the stuff we were touching on earlier in the show. Viggo Mortensen is 64 years old. Good, really good actor.
Oh,
in a lot of different things.
Oh, Lord of the Rings.
I mean, you ever watch A History of Violence?
Yes.
Whoa.
Great movie.
Whoa,
yeah.
There's some scenes in that movie, man. He's really good in that. He's good in everything.
What did I do with my birthday?
Billy Zabka. Do you know the name?
Billy Zappy. You say Zappy?
Zabka.
No, I do not know the name, sir.
Johnny from the Karate Kid. He was the villain with the blonde hair.
Yeah.
Sweep the leg, all that. That's him. That's Billy Zabka. Snoop Dogg. Snoop Doggy
right.
Dogg.
What?
Yes.
Sipping on gin and juice.
Yes. Calvin Brodus, a.k.a. Snoop Dogg. 51 years old is Snoop now. 5'1". Yeah.
Who'd you say was Lord of the Rings?
Viggo Mortensen.
He was one of the main characters in Lord of the Rings.
He's done a ton of stuff.
Oh, he was in Carlito's Way.
Yeah, he's in a lot. He's in that 13 Lives. If you get
I got him now.
Yeah,
G.I. Jane, Hidalgo.
Yep.
John Krasinski, who played Jim on The Office and has gone on to have a really good career in movies and whatnot. 43 years old.
You know who he's married to, right? Emily Blunt.
Emily Blunt, yes, actress, British actress, Emily Blunt. Mickey Mantle was born on this day, 1931.
Wow.
Yep. Number 7
there.
One of my favorite TV characters ever, Jerry Orbach, who played Lenny Briscoe on Law and Order. Thought he was awesome in that.
Oh my goodness.
Born on this day in 1935. He has since left us. Tom Petty was born on this day in 1950. Tom Petty from Gainesville, Florida, and they still honor him every game.
What's your favorite Tom Petty song?
Here Comes My Girl is my favorite Tom Petty song.
All right.
Yes.
Don't you sing a song called Walls Tumbling Down or something like that?
That's John Cougar Mellencamp.
That's John Cougar.
My fault.
Another white guy, Barrett.
Wrong guy.
We all look alike.
Wow. You just said, did you go there? Did you really go there? Wow.
He has learned too much from you, D-Gun.
You're rubbing
He has learned way too much from you,
You're a bad influence.
If I said that, Barrett would have taken it and ran with it. Then I would have to go downstairs and hang my head in shame. My wife would have said, "Did you really just say that on the show?"
Dude, I'd have ran
you?
with it. You're right. But since Rob said it,
I'm so glad Rob said it. No, but my favorite.
But you were thinking it though.
What?
You were thinking it though.
No, not until Rob said it. Then I was thinking it. My favorite Tom Petty song though is I'm torn between "Don't Do Me Like That" or "Free Falling."
They're both great.
Yeah.
They're both great songs. Yeah, they're good choices. He's got a pretty strong catalog for sure. Vice President of the United States, Kamala Harris, 58 years old. Happy birthday, Kamala.
Who could be the president based on what we've seen?
That's all you, man.
Great State of Delaware.
Just kidding. I'm just kidding. Can a man just have some fun?
I know. We can't. Unfortunately, we can't anymore. That's the sad thing.
I know. Man.
Paige Beckers, the UConn basketball player, women's basketball player who blew out her knee. She won't play this year, but she'll be back. Is 21 years old. That was a shame when she went down. She's, she'll be a stud when she comes back. That's for sure.
Yep.
Keith Hernandez, Philadelphia Phillies favorite broadcaster. Keith Hernandez is 69 years old. Keith Hernandez, still doing Mets games, etc. That's all I got. Birthdays. What do you have, Derek? You got more?
The original Dracula. Now let me see if you both know your history. Who is the original Dracula?
Oh, man.
Don't know.
Come on, boys. You movie aficionados, come on.
You got me.
Bela Lugosi.
Oh, geez. What year was he born?
Oh, geez.
Had to be. It was the 8th.
I only put down the year he died. I didn't put down the year he died. Let me tell you how old he was. He died in 1956.
Yeah, my man. I think 1800s. I think.
Yes, 1880, 90 something.
Okay.
And Scott Hall, former WWF wrestler.
That's right. That's right.
Scott Hall.
Yeah, that's a good list.
That's it.
Rap stars. I got NBA YoungBoy. Only reason I know that because these kids, they love him. He's married to. I think he's the baby father of what's the boxer's name? Pound for pound guy.
Floyd Mayweather.
Floyd Mayweather's daughter's baby daddy.
Mayweather's got a daughter that. Oh, wow.
That has wait. Can you imagine dating Floyd Mayweather's daughter and you go into the door for the first time?
Can you imagine? Yeah, no, I would not.
No.
Yeah, so I think they're kind of a thing. ASAP Ferg.
Yes,
that's a good rapper. ASAP Ferg.
Yep. It's not ASAP Rocky, but it's
not
ASAP
Rocky.
Ferg.
ASAP Ferg. Yeah.
ASAP Rocky is Rihanna's baby daddy.
Yeah, there you go. See, Rob is a trender. Woo! That's what I'm talking about, Rob.
Come on.
That's what I'm talking about, Rob. And then BG from the
I thought you said the Bee Gees.
No, BG. Cash Money Millionaires.
Ah.
You know what I'm saying? That's they from Cash Money Millionaires. Lil Wayne and all them guys down there.
Yeah,
BG was that dude.
Late 90s, man.
Yep.
All right, movies. Get Shorty. Did you have more birthdays?
No, that's it. That's it.
Oh, sorry. Get Shorty, 1995. Yeah, good movie. Travolta and that crew. Drugstore Cowboy. It's kind of dark, but it's pretty good. If you ever seen it, Matt Dillon in '89. That was a really good movie.
That's right.
I don't think it's enough love. Whatever. Who else do you have? I don't have any other ones.
You don't have any other ones?
No.
You have 2000. Wait, I got 3 from 2017.
Really?
I have Boo 2, a Medea Halloween, Tyler Perry movie.
Tyler Perry.
Leatherface. I couldn't watch that movie. I couldn't watch that dang movie.
Oh, that's what's that? Leatherface is
It's like one of them Halloween movies. It's like
it was like one of the remakes of the.
It's supposed to be based on true stories.
Wasn't that off the Chainsaw Massacre?
Chainsaw Massacre. That's what it was.
Yeah,
the Chainsaw Massacres.
That's all happened in Texas. That's why I'm never living in Texas, man. Too much crazy stuff going in Texas.
They go big in Texas.
Did you guys ever see the movie Geostorm?
Yes.
Yeah, that movie came out in 2017.
I like that. I watched it the other day.
Now, here's 2 great movies that came out on this day. In 2006, and this movie, I love this movie, The Prestige.
Yes, that's a good movie.
You never saw that one, Rob?
The Prestige. Who's in that?
That's
it sounds like I should have.
Is it Hugh Jackman?
Okay. Okay.
You gotta see that great movie. You have to see that movie. And the other one is this movie was I never heard this story. I love watching movies that give you a historical perspective. Only the Brave, the Granite Mountain Hot Shots. Are you familiar with that one?
That's a really good movie. I should have.
That's a heartbreaking movie about these firefighters in Arizona.
Yes.
And they get caught between his major blades in Arizona.
Yep.
And I don't want to give it away in case people want to see it.
But those guys were just heroes, man.
That's based on a true story.
Yep.
Well, I got a couple more famous birthdays. I'm sorry.
Oh, all right.
Who? D-Gun and who else?
Oh no, man. My former teammate Herman Moore.
Oh yeah, really good NFL player.
Dallas guy played against Chad Hennings.
Chad Hennings, Air Force, out of the Air Force.
David Craig.
He's
63.
Yeah.
Okay. Willis McGahee.
Yeah, Miami.
No kidding.
BU.
And then Jamie Collins. Yeah, his birthday.
Real good.
The linebacker from New England?
Yep. New England.
No kidding. Okay.
All right. Not bad.
So just a couple more.
See, people, we give you a little bit of everything. We give you sports, entertainment, and comedy all rolled into 3 hours. Where else are you going to get that?
But the bad thing is we're not trying to be comical. That's the problem.
We're
trying to be serious, and you got us laughing.
It's spontaneous comedy. Is what
right.
Yeah, but it works.
Yes.
It's like Abbott and Costello.
You're absolutely right.
It's like the Three Stooges.
It helps me get through
It
this
just
3 hours, bro.
It
helps
does.
me get through
Thank
3
you.
hours.
I
See?
agree with you.
It does.
I told you.
He
I'm
doesn't
here
have
to fill in
nearly
the
this
blank.
kind of fun on his other show that he does. I'm just saying. Anyway,
No,
I'm-
not even close.
I'm
ooh.
joking.
High five. High five.
I'm joking. All right, so a couple things. Let's start with the Sixers, who do play tonight, and I want to swing it back to the Phillies, who play tomorrow. We sensing a win here, and the Bucks are no easy task here. You know, I know they're banged up, but it's still Greek Freak, it's still Drew Holiday, it's still some formidable team. Considering what you saw on Wednesday, or Tuesday, I think they play well tonight. I think they win. I think you're going to see Embiid more engaged.
Yep.
I think you're going to see them be better in their transition defense, and I think Maxey will get it going early in this one. But so I think they win. I don't think they're not rolling it over. Believe me, it's going to be tight, but I think they win.
Based on what Keith Pompey said, when he added up all the pluses and minuses, I want to see a different brand of a little bit different brand of basketball from the 76ers.
Like
better,
what? I don't understand. Like what?
Better defense.
Okay.
Better transition game.
Okay.
And less turnovers.
Okay.
Boston outscored them in the transition game 24-2.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to see that. Oh, yes, 24-2.
Man.
And I want to see that in tonight's game. Although, you know me, I'm a Bucks fan.
Oh, right. I forgot about that.
I'm a Bucks fan. I went to go see a Bucks game last year with my brother on his birthday in Milwaukee. And man, that arena is phenomenal. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Oh, that new arena they play in. I got to walk up and down the Deer District. Oh man, that was sweet.
Hey, did you guys get Eddie Jones? Your guy, Temple guy?
No, is it his birthday?
No.
Eddie Jones.
Oh,
yeah,
shame
Temple's
on me,
own.
man. I went to
Wow.
school with Eddie
The
Jones.
Hooper, yeah.
Did you really?
Yeah, Eddie Jones and Aaron McKee and I were in the same time, and Rick Brunson. We're all right there at the same time. I was in classes with Eddie. I don't know what Aaron's major was or Rick, but Eddie and I were had the same major at Temple.
Were you guys boys back then?
Now we weren't boys. We knew
Yeah.
each other. He
Okay.
wouldn't remember me at all. But
Okay.
when we were in school together, because we had a lot of classes together.
Okay.
Good dude, man. Eddie actually went to class. I can tell you that.
I had to go to class.
Yeah.
Miss Brooks, that lady on the stream that's supposed to be so nice.
I am so glad she set you on the straight and narrow. What would you have
Bro,
been like
Yeah,
without
seriously,
her?
man.
Bruh. And I'm telling you, bruh, Coach Snyder had her number on I used to call him Snyder. Coach Snyder had on
Speed
my
dial, right?
on speed dial. Let me not go to class. It wasn't those things where are you gonna have to run or nothing like that. I'm telling Miss Brooks. Why you gotta get personal, man?
That's right. That's right.
You know what I'm saying? My mom didn't play, bruh.
Yeah.
She was like,
See,
you
for
gonna
me,
get an
I'm telling
education out
Sanji.
here.
I just tell Sanji. Well, I'm calling Mrs. Brooks. I'll wait till we get on the show with Mrs. Brooks. You just spill everything. I'll just
Is
spill
that going to be a segment?
Yes, I'm gonna spill everything.
Oh boy.
I have
Oh,
a
my
lot
goodness.
of pent up
Mama
frustration.
Brooks is going to be a guest on the show. Is that
Yes.
what we're? Oh, really?
Yeah,
Barry,
we
you
need to get
okay
Mama
with
Brooks
this?
on the
I'm
show.
telling you right now, if my mom was on the show, it'd be a doomsday prepping deal. That's all she would talk about, doomsday prepping. She's canned everything. You name it, she's canned it. Butter, you name it.
And canning is good stuff, dude.
Bro, she could literally, there could be a war and she would be good for 3 years.
Oh my God.
Does that mean
3
you moving
years.
back to St. Louis to get free eats?
Bro, we'd have to make a way. We had to trek our way. She has more food than like probably Walmart, a super Walmart.
Damn.
Okay. All right. I don't blame her.
I
You
like
got to
it.
prepare, man.
No, she
You got
is prepared.
countries threatening each other, viruses running amok.
Bro,
You know?
I mean, you guys really realize that
The apocalypse
they
is upon us.
they're really talking about using nuclear weapons
Russia
over there with Russia. Yeah,
over in Ukraine.
that's
Oh
crazy.
no, man! Oh no,
They're
man!
getting their butt kicked right now. Now they want to say, "Oh, you want to do that? We're gonna come on, man."
And you know what? You know what that means? If they start doing that, NATO jumps in, and then all of a sudden,
I don't know.
Yep.
We're
You
all
know.
in it.
well,
Yep.
so.
You're exactly
But
right.
we're not here to talk war and politics.
I hear you. No, but the Sixers are 4-point favorites. I
should
would,
be.
yeah. I think it's going to be right around that number, but I think the Sixers end up winning. So
I
Yeah,
think they
I
beat the
so
Bucks
also.
by 10. If you're going to catch the Bucks, you better catch them while they're limping.
Yeah.
So I think they'll beat them by double digits because they were embarrassed by the Celtics.
They were.
The team everybody in the East is measuring themselves against. They come out of the gate and they got embarrassed by the Celtics in the opener. I think they're going to be fired up tonight. Home crowd, sold out crowd. They may smoke the Bucks. Bucks are down 3 players. They might smoke the Bucks tonight.
Okay. All right. So I mentioned Larry Anderson will be joining us tomorrow. Larry be calling the games along with Scott Fransky, who we had on. When did we have Scott on? Was it Monday? What day was it? Monday. I can't remember.
Yep.
I don't know, man.
Monday,
Days just blend in together.
Monday or Tuesday, we had Scott. Tuesday, we had Scott on. So they'll be calling the game, and we'll be talking to LA tomorrow in anticipation for Game 3. So the schedule is Friday night Game 3, Saturday night Game 4, Sunday afternoon Game 5, and then we don't know. We don't know what happens beyond that, if it goes back to San Diego or what in either way. So that's kind of where things are. Eagles bye week, Pittsburgh coming up next. After that, the Steelers, I was just looking at it. In fact, I was looking at what they have, aside from the Eagles. So the Steelers' upcoming schedule is they get Miami this week at Miami. That's a Sunday night game. So you'll have everybody can kind of just sit back and watch and soak it all in before they get the Eagles, and then they have a bye week. That's not an easy one for Pittsburgh by any stretch. That's for sure, especially if Tua comes back. All right,
my brother's a smart aleck.
What did Marvin do?
I'm bad. So when I had my granddaughter Ariane, my oldest daughter and my wife, they taped the segment of the show.
Nice.
She was on, so I sent it to my brother and a couple of my cousins. And my brother said, "Oh, she's so cute. I hope to get to see her before she's 21." My brother and I, we don't get to see each other that often because he's crazy. So we don't get to see each other. Oh, I hope I get to see her before she's 21. I said, "Shut up."
Is that him saying you don't invite him enough to the house? Is that what that is?
No, he's also saying I don't go out there and visit enough as well.
A little shot by Marvin.
Yeah, we have master degrees in being smart Alex in this family.
I got you. All right, so don't go anywhere. You got the National Football Show with Dan Cilio and the three of us back at it tomorrow.
Yeah, I'll be on it. I'll be on the National Football Show at 3:30.
All right, there you go.
There you go.
A little more Barrett. That's beautiful, man. And I'll be on with Jeff Kerr tomorrow on Good Morning NFC East. I'll be on there about 7 something, man. I don't know. I'll be there. I will be there. That's all I know. And tonight, by the way, at Screwballs in King of Prussia at 6:00, myself, Krause, and the crew. So stop on out. Fun place, great food. You guys know.
Send me some pizza, man.
I will take care of you, Gunner. I'll take care of you. All right, everybody, have a great Thursday. Thanks for hanging with us. I want to thank Xander Krause. For Derek, for Barrett, I'm Rob. It's been fun. We'll see you tomorrow at the same time. Sports Take.
Go to get your game on. Go for the beers. Go for the cheers. Go for the hit and the hits. Go for the stakes and the stakes. Go to get your parlay on. Go to get your party on. Go for the scene. Go for the screens. Go for the gallery. Go for the win. Go to Ocean. Visit theoceanac.com to plan your visit.
Welcome to Pond Lehocky. We've helped over 100,000 injured and disabled workers obtain benefits, as well as some of the biggest settlements in the state. If you've been injured at work, give Pond Lehocky a call.
It's a fall car fest, and Jeff D'Ambrosio, Destination Downingtown, says, yes, you can. Jeff says, yes, you can choose from over 1,000 vehicles in stock with no wait. Yes, you can still get low prices, leases, and big discounts. Yes, you can still get low interest financing. And Jeff always says, yes, you can have a real deal buying experience without the hassle. When the other dealers say, no, you can't, Jeff says, yes, you can. Jeff D'Ambrosio, Destination Downingtown. Nobody treats you better. Jeep Adventure Days.